ECAT's production of OA Sports are provided by Morse Insurance, Weinstein and Keach, we sell real estate, Michael Associates, Ltd., the Easton Lions Club. ECAT would like to thank all the sponsors for support of producing OA Sports.
Live from the corner of Park Street and Sheridan, this is Oliver Ames Baseball, and it's your home opener here on Easton Community Access Television. Hello, Tiger fans. I'm Adam Rivero, back for 2026 with your play-by-play for each and every home game. With me today, and hopefully all year on color commentary, is none other than Jaden Tebow. Jaden, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Adam. Thank you for having me.
It's good to be able to be back to watch this new Tigers team. We'll give you the lineups here in just a moment, but it is game time, and again, welcome, and we're glad to have you here for another season, 2026. We're about to have the first pitch of the home opener. Oliver Ames has played one game already, and we'll give you some of the background here in just a moment. Alex Sade, the new captain, the senior, on the mound today. First pitch outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Up first is number 3, the pitcher, Viveros. And I have to apologize as we start today because we do not have the first names of these players, and so we'll just be calling them by the last name for Dighton, Rehoboth. And so 2-0 is the count, and again, Viveros, the pitcher, a pitcher-on-pitcher matchup here for the first at-bat. Sade on the mound. Just outside the strike zone, 3-0 is the count, as Sade's behind to begin.
Hopefully he can pick up his rhythm like he did last season.
He had a really good season last year and should be the anchor, one of the anchors of the rotation. Shows bunt, goes back, and that'll be a 4-pitch walk as Viveros makes it to first. No outs. The center fielder, Castro, comes up. Castro playing center field will be the second hitter, and again, we'll give you the entire starting lineups here in just a moment. Viveros takes his lead on first. Sade looks and deals. Puts it in the strike zone there. 0-1 is the count for Sade's first strike of the inning and the first strike here of the season.
That was a good pitch right there, right down the middle.
ECAT's production of OA Sports are provided by Morse Insurance, Weinstein and Keach, we sell real estate, Michael Associates, Ltd., the Easton Lions Club. ECAT would like to thank all the sponsors for support of producing OA Sports.
And also Jack Devonshire. 1-1, deals, pop fly, left field, and will be out of play. 1-2, big swing there, but falls harmlessly foul. And Sade looking for his first K of the season here in just a moment.
That was a good hit by the other player on the other team, Castro.
Took a good swing there, but a little bit early.
Yeah, foul ball.
Actually a little bit late, and went foul. Swing and a miss, strike 3, you may be seated, and that'll be the first out of the inning, and the first out for Alex Sade. And that remains, a runner on first and 1 out.
That was a great pitch from Sade right there.
Good movement there, great to see the first strikeout of the game, and again of the season for him. Third baseman Mendoza is up to bat with a 1-0 count. Yeah, Alex had a great season last year. Strong pitcher for Oliver Ames, but now, as a senior, is one of the anchors of the rotation. Runner goes, and foul tip means that the runner, Viveros, will return. 1-1 is the count.
It went back here, all the way to the fence, which is about 60 yards back.
It is 60 feet back.
60 feet.
Yeah, the 60 yards would be even worse, honestly, but 60 feet is long enough. It is a country mile. As Sade makes sure the runner returns. Again, 1-1 is the count. 1 out here. OA looking to turn 2.
Sade's getting ready to pitch right here.
Mendoza swings, and that will go right past Taryn Lawless, the new third baseman today, come through for a single. That was a little bit of a seeing eye single there. Jaden kind of got there right on the line, right at the bag, what was needed to be able to scoot out into the outfield and allow the runners to advance. So now runners on first and second. Mendoza at first, Vivero's at second, and the cleanup hitter, the catcher, Silva, digs in next. The righty.
Sada getting ready to pitch yet again.
Well outside for a ball. 1-0. Oliver Ames has a very new-looking lineup out there today, and we'll talk about that here, especially in the bottom of the first. But 20 out of the 26 players are new to varsity. Giovanello, the new catcher here today, just checked the runner back at first. Made sure he was awake, which he was enough to scurry back and be safe. 2-0, 1 out, runners on first and second. And the cleanup hitter, Silva.
That was a strike right down the middle.
Strike there. He decided to let it go by for a called strike. 2-1, 1 out. 1 out, rather. And runner takes
More
his lead on
strikes.
second. Sade with the pitch. Well outside again. 3-1 is your count. And Sade's trying to find the zone here early.
Just get your rhythm in. Don't want the first game of the season, though. So the first inning, too. So
Right. It's
Just gotta
very,
give him
very
some time.
early. You're exactly right. And it'll be a second walk for Sade as the bases are now loaded here in the first. 1 out. The first baseman, Hayden, will be stepping in next, but that'll be a mound visit here by Coach Abar very early. It's tough, Jaden. First game, we were just talking about that. Sade here at the home opener, maybe a little bit of nerves. It's definitely cold out here today, which we can attest to. And so the muscles are a little bit tight, no doubt. But Oliver Ames found themselves in a little bit of a jam here early.
yeah, just gotta get your flow going.
That's exactly right. Now, Oliver Ames last year had some difficulty putting some runs across the dish and had some decent defense last year, some excellent pitching outings last year, but really a lot of the Tigers' issues came down to this, scoring runs. A lot of 3-2 games, 4-3 games, games they lost by 1 or 2 runs where just the bats were not operating, and so that'll be one of the real issues today. Great placement there on that pitch inside. Strike 1 call as Hayden steps back.
Hopefully that coaching talk right there on the mound gave him a little bit extra confidence.
You're
here in
exactly
the
right.
First inning. Yep.
Coach Abar just coming in, veteran coach, 10 years as a coach for Oliver Ames, just giving Sade exactly what he needs and reminded him to be able to just keep it in the zone here early.
Word to wisdom.
Don't want to overdo it. 1-1 is the count, 1 out. Bases loaded for Dighton Rehoboth. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. A mighty cut by Hayden. 1-2, 1 out. Sade looking for his second punch out here. Sure be helpful. Sade deals. Fouled off here to the backstop, right past our broadcast location. The count remains 1-2. One of the real stories of the game today, Jaden, is both Oliver Ames and Dighton Rehoboth. The Falcons are really teams that are rebuilding in the sense of strike 3 as he watches it go by.
Wow.
Checked his swing, but that will be the second out.
Second
Great
strikeout
pitch.
of the day.
Great pitch there by Sade, painting the corners there at that at-bat, which brings Bouchard, the designated hitter, up next, number 6 in the 6 hole. Here's the pitch. Strike. Great movement there. The bottom dropped out of that pitch right into the zone. 0-1. And it looks like Sade might be finding his stuff here, Jaden.
Yeah. Like I said, we just got to give them time and find their rhythm, and then it will eventually come to all of them.
Oliver Ames only played 1 game so far this year, as that's fouled off for strike 2. Sade looking for one more pitch, one more strike, will relieve the pressure of bases loaded here, and that would certainly be a great thing.
One more strikeout, or one more strike, and then the inning's over.
Bouchard digs in, and the pitch. Outside, Bouchard did not chase. 1-2. Yeah, both teams here without many of their starters from last year and really just finding their way. This is only Oliver Ames' first game, as that's low, or rather Oliver Ames' second game. They lost against Mansfield last Monday. And Dighton Rehoboth has had a few scrimmage games, talking with Coach Cuthbertson before the game. However, this is their first regular season game, and so there's a lot of things both of these teams are going to need to learn about themselves today. Be good to watch. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. You may be seated, and that will end the top half of the inning as Dighton Rehoboth had the bases loaded, but Sade struck out 3 to be able to keep DR from scoring.
That was a great inning from Sade right there.
Great recovery there, Jaden. You're absolutely right when you consider the fact that he had bases loaded, he had 2 walks, but yet still had 3 strikeouts. You can't complain about that, particularly for his first game of the season, for the home opener, all that we just talked about. It's a good start for Oliver Ames to keep this game from breaking wide open early. Well, we want to give you the starting lineups here this afternoon, and the starting lineups are brought to you by Michael Associates LTD, specializing in the development and management of affordable housing for families, seniors, and individuals with special needs. To learn more, visit michaelltd.com. That's MICHELLTD.com. Well, as we just mentioned, some of the starting lineup for Dighton Rehoboth, the Falcons, number 3. The first hitter, the pitcher, Viveros in the 2-hole. The center fielder, Castro. Batting third and the third baseman, Mendoza. In the 4th spot, batting cleanup, the catcher, Silva. At first, number 5, Hayden. In the 6th spot, the designated hitter, Bouchard. Playing out in left, number 7, Mello. The second baseman, number 8, Lynch. Number 9, the right fielder, Smith. And then also shortstop, number 7, Marikow. For your Oliver Ames Tigers, again, we have only 3 seniors playing today. A lot of sophomores, a lot of juniors. Again, a new lineup, and looking forward to seeing what these guys are going to put forward today. Batting first, the center fielder, Evan Zamilo, the senior. Batting second at short, Zane Prescott, sophomore. Batting third, the third baseman, Taryn Lawless, also a sophomore. Batting cleanup, first baseman, Henry Burr, the junior, returning for his second year on varsity. DH, number 5, Aiden Goddard, a junior. Number 6, the catcher, Jack Giovanello, a junior. Number 7, second baseman, Tommy Regan, a senior, and also the captain. Number 8, out and right, Brady Shotus, a sophomore. And then out and left, batting at the bottom of the order, Colin Dunmead, who is a junior. Once again, starting lineups are brought to you by Michael Associates LTD. To learn more about Michael Associates, visit michaelltd.com. Yeah. Sade struck out 3 there at the top of the first, and that was a great start, despite the fact that the bases were loaded. What did you see there that you liked in that top of the half, Jaden?
I saw from Sade like a lot of resilience because he realized that it was like bases loaded, and then when the coach came out to talk to him, Coach Abar, after that it was just lights out, and then after that he got 2 strikeouts in a row. So definitely helped.
Mound visits are vital to be able to, as a manager, know when to go out, when to say the right words to your pitcher, to be able to get him to calm down a little bit. Not to say that he was stressed out, but just the fact that he was not zeroing in on the strike zone the way that Coach Abar would have liked. And the thing with high school baseball, Jaden, is these games can get out of control very, very quickly. All it takes is an error. All it takes is a stolen base here or there, and a 1-run inning can turn into a 6 or 7-run inning very, very quickly. And you don't want that in the first inning, the game getting out of hand. I really feel like, although the bases were loaded in the first, Oliver Ames got to feel good about themselves coming here to the bottom of the first.
Yeah, what did you think about like Sade's pitching after the mound visit?
Well, I think you're exactly right. I think that he was off before Coach came up, and he definitely zeroed in the strike zone. A lot of good movement on his pitches, painting the corners, what you want to see. Viveros now is the pitcher for Dighton Rehoboth for the Falcons in green and yellow. Zamilo, one of the seniors, takes strike one. As far as seniors today for Oliver Ames, it's Zamilo, Tommy Regan, and Alex Sade.
Yeah, very low seniors right now.
Oh, right near the head. That'll be ball one. And Zamilo very quickly scampers out of the way. And that was right at eye level. That's tough to see. Viveros, though, with a 1-1 count with the neck pitch. Chopper down the third base line, but foul.
Yeah, that was fast reflexes right there by Zamilo.
Cat-like would be the term I would use exactly, to get out of the way. You get plunked on the side of the helmet. Even with that helmet there, that is not a good thing. And so, good job by Evan getting out of the way. 1-2, no outs. Top of the order with Zamilo. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. That's strike three. And that'll be the first out for Oliver Ames. Zane Prescott, the sophomore, steps in next, playing shortstop. Now, a lot of new players out here today, Evan, and just because we see them out here today doesn't mean this is where they'll be the entire season. I talked with Coach Abar before the game. In fact, we both did. And Coach is still kind of trying to feel out where everybody is. Guys are going to have to earn their spots. Nobody's been anointed a spot, if you will, but everyone's going to have to earn it, particularly with so many sophomores and juniors moving up from the JV squad. Only 6 returning starters. The youngest would have been Henry Burr. Last year was the only sophomore on the squad. What a difference a year would make. That Burr, as first pitch is a strike, Burr was the only sophomore on the squad last year, and now the Tigers are filled on the varsity squad with sophomore and juniors. Viveros jumps out to a quick 0-2 count.
Yeah, a lot of these younger players, like you were just saying, are going to have to step up this season and improve themselves for the future coming years.
A little bit of competition is good, and hopes it brings out the best in all of them. Strike three quick pitches, and Prescott will sit down for out number 2. Taryn Lawless, playing third, also a sophomore, steps up next.
It's good to see these younger players getting a lot of reps in the starting lineup.
Absolutely. And, again, talking to Coach Abar before the game, these are not inexperienced guys. A lot of them were on JV last year and got to move up. Ball's in the dirt. Good take by Lawless. 1-0. Good crowd here so far this afternoon at Frothingham Park as more are filtering in. Right down the pike. 1-1.
Yeah, this pitcher for Dighton Rehoboth is pretty good right now so far, I would say. Yeah.
Putting him in, and right now we have a strikeout clinic. We've got 5 outs, all registered by strikeout between both teams, and that'll be strike 2, another swinging strike. 1-2, 2 outs. Lawless at the bat for his first home at bat of the season. Viveros looks, and the pitch.
Nice pitch.
Inside, but paints the corner for strike 3, and that will end the inning. 6 outs, 6 strikeouts between Dighton Rehoboth and Oliver Ames. Can't wait to see what the second holds in store for us. But in the meantime, we'll go for a commercial break. We'll see you in a moment here on ECAT.
I'll be right back.
We are just into our second week of the season. Our first game will be Friday. We had a scrimmage on Saturday over at the regional where we did pretty well. We got good numbers this year. A lot of younger players that are coming up this year, which is a plus, who have experience down from the youth program, and a couple of older players who haven't played before but are good athletes and are willing to learn. So this is a good start to the season, and we're looking forward to what's coming down the road.
So this season we got a young team, super excited for it. Coming off last season, didn't have a strong strong season, had a bunch of tough losses, overtime, 1-2 losses, but we're coming back stronger. A bunch of guys have been doing a club, so hopefully they got their stick work up. We're going to be a small team, about a smaller kids, but hopefully that won't be too big of a factor. It's a physical sport, but, we're here. We got a bunch of people who are about that grind, who are trying to be gritty and just work through those disadvantages, but, we're going to work hard, grind, and hopefully come out with some big wins.
This season we got an early jump on captain's practices. We started doing some towards the end of August, and then we kind of picked up more once the school year started. And we're just trying to get as much time on the field as we can despite the less than ideal weather before the season starts for our first game on Friday.
Yeah, so the coaches kind of set us up with a good solid base. They kind of send us videos of what you should be doing, film breakdowns, and then through the captains they'll kind of extend it through what you should be doing in the off season, either that lifting or we'll run some captains practices, get the team out here as a team, work on our defense, and then also they're just preparing us really well. They're kind of finding the things we did bad last year and then using those to.
Back here at Frothingham here in the second, and we're in the midst of a 1-1 count. Bouchard, the designated hitter, up next. Actually, my mistake, that would be Reed Mello, the left fielder. Curve outside. 2-1.
Yeah, the wind's going to be a pretty big factor here in the later innings, like pitching and hitting.
Yeah, that's a good point, too, as the pitcher pitches inside, strike 2-2 count, is weather today could play a little bit of a factor. 50 degrees and dropping, ironically enough, as the game goes on, Jaden, but also wind blowing out about 10 miles an hour or so, but gusts higher, but that wind will be going out. Strike 3 called. Out number 1, and that will be the 4th K for Sade. And again, 7 strikeouts in 7 outs to start this game. Very, very unusual, Jaden. And we got a lot of younger players here. Some of it is 2 experienced pitchers, both Cole Viveros and Alex Sade. Very experienced, and a lot of younger players getting their first reps out here. Again, 2 teams trying to find their way. Check swing, but strike 1 called. Second baseman Lynch is next. But yeah, that wind blowing out, it's a little bit low right now, not a big wind, but the gusts can pick up, and that ball can carry if somebody hits it,
wow.
Jaden, because right now that's not the case. 0-2, you're right. 0-2 as Sade just continues to hit the zone.
Ever since that mound visit from Coach Aber, it's been lights up from Sade.
Alex shakes off a few. Now the pitch. Popped up high. Will be in foul territory, but caught by Henry Burr for out number 2.
That was a good hit from Dighton Rehoboth right to Oliver Ames.
Got a little bit under it. Went sky high near the first base line, and Burr ranges under to get out number 2. The right fielder, Smith, is next. Well outside, 1-0.
Yeah, any player in Rehoboth right now is looking to get some momentum for their team, for both teams actually, because no hit has been happened yet.
We had 1 hit so far, which was that seeing eye single down the third baseline, but that has been it, Jaden, and there's not been a lot of contact. You're absolutely right, as the count is 2-0. Make that 3-0 as that goes well outside as well. Dighton Rehoboth had a very good year last year. In fact, they're in the South Coast League. They are not in the Hockomock League, as that ball gets in there for a strike. They were 15-7 last year, going 9-6 for league play. Placed them in 4th in the South Coast League. Made it to the round of 16 in the Division III playoffs last year as well. Swing and a miss, strike 2, full count, 2 outs. Smith trying to stay alive. Sade looking for his 6th punch out.
That's a big
of the
pitch
afternoon.
right here.
Actually, his 5th punch out, rather. Big pitch. Here it goes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that will end the top of the second for Dighton Rehoboth as Sade registers his 5th strikeout out of 6 batters. We'll mention just a few moments ago that Dighton Rehoboth is in the South Coast League, Jaden, not the Hockomock League, of which we're familiar with, the 2 divisions, Davenport and Kelly Rex. They are not in the Hockomock League, which means this is a non-conference game. It does not count to league standings. However, it does count for overall record. It does count for playoffs, MIAA playoffs coming up later this year. And as I mentioned, they did make it into the round of 16. They beat Boston Latin Academy, but then fell to Norwell 5-2 on June 4th to end their run. Now, Dighton Rehoboth has a good legacy as a baseball program. They've had 1 player drafted, 3 total draft picks, 1 major leaguer come out of the program, and 5 active alumni currently playing at higher levels. Now, Dighton Rehoboth had a very senior-heavy lineup last year. In fact, in just some conversations before the game, those seniors had, many of them, been together for about 3 years on the varsity squad. But because of that, as they all graduated, there's a lot of open spaces, Jaden, for these young players to get in there, and some not so young, but just weren't able to take a spot. So you have some first-year seniors starting for Dighton Rehoboth. And that's what I think is so exciting about this game, is to watch some very hungry, younger, and maybe even older players in their last year of eligibility looking to make their mark. And so far, the ones who have made their marks have been the 2 pitchers. It's been Alex Sade and Cole Viveros.
Yeah, it's cool to watch like out-of-game leagues for OA because you can like see how like other competition is in like certain other leagues. And it's good to see like how you're matching up against other great teams.
That's right. And we've played DR twice a year, non-conference, and it's good to see how we match up against other divisions and other leagues, and that's the case today. Well, bottom of the second, the cleanup hitter, Henry Burr, is up. No contact made so far for Oliver Ames, as right now it has been a lot of what we call a pitching clinic so
that
far.
Ball pitch was outside a little bit. 1-0 is the count.
Burr, again a junior, was the only sophomore on the squad that I'm aware of, and tags it for a base hit as it is fielded by Smith, and Burr gets in for the first hit of this season, at least at home, for Oliver Ames. Getting some experience for Henry Burr, even though he's a junior, was on the squad last year, and that bat was what got him on the squad, and that bat is what's going to hopefully be the spark plug for the Tigers today.
And next up is the DH on the Tigers, Aiden Goddard.
Goddard, a junior, a righty, steps in as Burr dances around on the first base line, or on the first base path, rather. You don't want him dancing around the first base line because that means he's going backwards or behind the bag. But 1-0 is the count.
That pitch almost hit him, too, right there.
Inexplicably called strike there, as it almost was in the dirt. 1-1 is the call.
Yeah, that was definitely.
I'll be honest with you, Jaden. We can't always see balls and strikes from here because of our vantage point. The umpire's literally standing right in front of us as that is fouled off. It's very hard for us to see if a ball is actually a ball or strike or not. But that ball, although it had a lot of movement on it, was in the dirt and was called a strike.
I just heard other parents going, "Oh!" Like
there were audible groans from the crowd right there. 1-2 is the count to Goddard.
Hey, look good.
Drops in for a ball.
Kind of looked like a curveball. Like I saw like a curve up and then downward a little bit.
It did. It certainly did. Fouled it off to stay alive. 2-2. Burr on first. No outs. Burr's registered the first hit of the game so far for Oliver Ames. And again, it is a cold one out here today. I won't say it's the coldest Oliver Ames game I've ever called, but it's not the most comfortable game we've had either. And you add the fact that the temperature will continue to drop throughout the game as Viveros looks back to first and Burr runs back. Strike 3 called. And Goddard will sit down as Viveros registers his 4th strikeout so far of the game. Jack Giovanello, the catcher, coming up next.
I know he was a good hitter last year, from what I remember.
That's to be swung on and hit into the left field where it will register another base hit. Gia Vanello absolutely tagged that pitch. Runners on first and second now with only one out. And Tommy Regan, the senior, the captain, will step in now. An experienced bat here. In a leverage situation, we have one runner in scoring position. Ball was inside and went right past his visor, but curved into the strike zone. I think it's fair to say so far, Jaden, that this is a very wide strike zone so far. Strike two as Regan is down quickly, 0-2. Again, runners on first and second. Burr and Giovanello. Viveros struck out 4 so far out of 4 registered outs. To the third baseman where it is caught for out number 2, but actually thrown away. So as Henry Burr runs to third, the ball, that was kind of a wild exchange there. That line drive by Regan was caught by the third baseman Mendoza. However, the pitch was not handled properly by the second baseman Lynch, which allowed Burr to run to third base. So runners on the corners, 2 outs now because of the throwing error.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad throw if I've ever seen one.
That's a tough one, and I understand what the third baseman was trying to do. Actually, the short, I mentioned that was Lynch, but actually Maricol on short that was playing second. But you're absolutely right. He's trying to get Burr from tagging up, and if the throw is in time, it's very likely that Burr could have been out and that would have ended the inning. However, the throw was errant, and because of that, instead of Burr being out, he's able to run to third. 1-1 is the count thus far. Brady Shotas or Shatus, as I have trouble pronouncing Brady's name. The runner runs to second. Maybe I should just.
I think I heard it's like Shatas.
Shatus. I think Shatus is correct. And I actually asked Coach before the game, and now I don't remember. So thank you.
That's how I remember.
Jaden. You're my wingman, man. Thank you. So 2-1 is the count with runners now on second and third. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 2-2 to Shotas. Or say it again, Jaden. Shatas. All right. I'm going to have to write this down. I'm going to write down the phonetical pronunciation. Here's the pitch, full count. That's going to be poked out into the outfield and will fall for a base hit. 1 run will score. A second will also score. The throw to second will be not in time, as that is a 2-run double. Whatever you call him, Brady just scored 2 RBI, and Oliver Ames has taken the lead for the first time this season, 2-0. Excellent work there.
That was a great hit by Shatas. That's pretty good.
Just keep saying his name, Jaden. I think you're the good luck charm, because as soon as you said his name right, he got just enough of that ball to fall over the right fielder's head.
Maybe he heard us talking. Who knows?
Foul ball. You may have seen that ball roll to the pitcher, but it fouled off in the box and then off the plate rolled towards the pitcher. So that is a foul ball. 0-1, 2 outs. Oliver Ames up by 2 here in the second inning. And where Viveros was mowing down the Oliver Ames hitters, Oliver Ames has, over the last few batters, maybe seemed to get a better read on him. And now, runner on second.
As Dunmead is up.
Thank you for that. Dunmead playing left field. He's a junior, just coming up to the squad from JV. Here's the pitch. Inside. 1-1. Good to see Oliver Ames up here early. There were so many times last year where Oliver Ames was playing from behind, and to be able to see Owe up and in the driver's seat is exactly what you want to see as a Tigers fan. Tapper to third base, where it is going to be fielded. No, and it's not going to be fielded cleanly. Brady overruns third base, but is able to dive back, which means runners are back on the corners with 2 outs, as Dunmead makes it to first, I'll be honest with you, I would count that as a hit because I don't believe, even if it was fielded cleanly by Mendoza, that there would have been time to throw it to first. That was just a slow roller, a little bit of a tapper down the third base line. But back to the top of the order, and Evan Zamilo at bat, struck out in the first. But again, an experienced bat here with runners at first and third.
Already up 2-0 too, so
2-0, and if you're Zamilo, you want to add to that tally. 1-0, the pitch to Evan. Whoa, very, very inside. Dives out of the way for a 2-0 count, rather.
Yeah, his pitcher's almost hit 3 different players.
Well, he's got a lot of movement on those pitches, but there's been a couple that seem to have gotten away from him a little bit. Next pitch, swing and a miss from Evan. 2-1. Again, Tigers up by 2, bottom of the second. Runners on the corners. Here's the pitch. Runner goes, and once again, the catcher, Silva, will allow the runner to go to second base. You'll see that a lot in the major leagues, particularly, also especially in high school, because the throw to second, if you miss, and especially if it's errant or bobbled, most definitely will let that run from third score, so they'd rather let the runner go to second. So runners on second and third. Sorry, Jake.
I was going to say it's 3-1 the count. Well, now 4-1.
Zamilo walks, and so now the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Zane Prescott, who struck out in the last inning.
His second at-bat in his varsity career.
Again, struck out in the first, but at the same time, he's looking at bases loaded. 2 outs. Big opportunity here. That's going to get away from him. Will the run score? Yes, the runner's going to go. He's going to slide and be safe for the third run as that ball gets away from Silva. And it's now 3-0 Tigers, with also the runners on first and second advancing as well. And so deja vu all over again for the Tigers with runners on second and third, 2 outs.
Great inning from the Tigers here, hitting-wise and running-wise, yep.
Good awareness on the base paths there to be able to know that you need to take home, because that wasn't as clean of a decision as you would think. The ball did not come all the way back to the backstop. It actually kind of jutted out to the side a little bit. But great awareness inside, 2-0. So Prescott, runners on second and third. Tigers up by 3 here early at Frothingham Park. Viveros trying to get control again. Here's the pitch.
There it is.
Low for a ball. Again, the count's 2-1, and this zone so far, I'll be honest with you, is all over the map in this humble play-by-play announcer's opinion. And so if I'm a batter for Oliver Ames or DR right now, you just have to swing away because you don't know what the calls are going to be.
It's like a broad range, like
3-1. Yeah, and even that right there, I had to wait a beat just to make sure it was a ball because it was way outside. But there have been some, again, very disputable calls.
Questionable.
Yes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Full count. 2 outs. Runners on second and third. Oliver Ames already scored 3 here in the bottom of the second, looking to tack on a few more.
One more ball or another hit, and looks like we're probably going to score another run, definitely.
Ball 4, and Prescott will take his base as Taryn Lawless will step in next, the sophomore, third baseman. Bases loaded once again. Viveros, who was in control in the last inning and really up 4 strikeouts in a row. Certainly the fortunes have changed here in the second inning for Dighton Rehoboth. Deals. Falls into the zone for a strike.
Yeah, that looked a little bit outwards. I don't know if you saw it, but I saw it like curve like a little bit out in the...
Well, we know in the major leagues that you can actually dispute balls and strikes now. That is not the case in high school. Hit firmly towards the shortstop, who will register out number 3 and will end the inning. But in the meantime, the Tigers score 3. Score is Oliver Ames 3, Dighton Rehoboth 0. We'll be back in a moment here on ECAT.
We are just into our second week of the season. Our first game will be Friday. We had a scrimmage on Saturday over at the regional where we did pretty well. We got good numbers this year. A lot of younger players that are coming up this year, which is a plus, who have experience down from the youth program, and a couple of older players who haven't played before but are good athletes and are willing to learn. So this is a good start to the season, and we're looking forward to what's coming down the road.
So this season we got a young team, super excited for it. Coming off last season, didn't have a strong season, had a bunch of tough losses, overtime, 1-2 losses, but we're coming back stronger. A bunch of guys have been doing club, so hopefully they got their stick work up. We're gonna be a small team, about a smaller kids, but hopefully that won't be too big of a factor. It's a physical sport, but you know, we're here. We got a bunch of people who are about that grind, who are trying to be gritty and just work through those disadvantages, but you know, we're gonna work hard, you know, grind, and hopefully come out with some big wins.
This season we got an early jump on captain's practices. We started doing some towards the end of August, and then we kind of picked up more once the school year started. And we're just trying to get as much time on the field as we can despite the less than ideal weather before the season starts for our first game on Friday.
Yeah, so the coaches kind of set us up with a good solid base. You know, they kind of send us videos of what you should be doing, film breakdowns, and then through the captains, they'll kind of extend it through what you should be doing in the offseason.
Top of the third, Worcester Field at Frothingham Park, and it's all Tigers so far, 3-0. As Dighton Rehoboth goes back to the top of the order, and Cole Viveros will be for his second at bat. Walked in the first. Sade 5 strikeouts already on the afternoon. That is well outside for ball 1. Again, out of the 6 outs so far, 5 punch-outs for Sade, who saw the bases loaded in the first inning but got OA out of the jam. Inside for ball 2.
That almost hit the Rehoboth player.
He
almost
kind of dove out of the way there, no doubt about it, Jaden. Sade down 2-0. Here's the pitch.
Just a little too high.
Ball 3. You just mentioned a few moments ago, the big news in the major leagues right now, Jaden, is the ABS system, the ability to challenge balls and strikes, something that's never happened before in the major leagues. Don't think we're going to get that in high school for a lot of different reasons, but nonetheless, that is a leadoff walk for Viveros, his second walk on the afternoon. Castro, the center fielder, will step in next. First pitch, also low for a ball. So Sade needing to find the zone here early in the third as Viveros is on first. Looks. Sade deals. Just a little bit high. 2-0. In all Tigers here early. The Tigers went up by 3 in the bottom of the second. A double by Brady. You gotta say it again, Jaden.
Shot toss.
Shot toss. I'm going to keep making you say it all. And Brady, if your parents are watching, I want to apologize to them for for not getting your name right. But we're going to get it right by the end of the season. But
we got plenty of time to get it right.
We don't care what we call Brady at this point other than the one who scored 2 RBI for Oliver Ames.
Could just call him Brady.
I think we may just go with Brady. And that will be a second walk for Sade this inning, his 4th walk so far in the game. And it's kind of been feast or famine right now for Sade. He, again, has 5 strikeouts, but 4 walks, as well as, once again, the guys come in, Coach Abar comes out, and if this is shades of the first inning, that will be very good for Alex. As far as help in the bullpen this year, it really comes down to the starting rotation, and that would be Sade and Zamilo and Jack Devonshire. There may be other relievers, guys that can come in that I am not aware of. We'll find out as you do here during today's game, but those are your 3 guys that you're going to have, for the most part, on the hill for the Tigers. And so that mound visit is now over. Mendoza is next at bat, third baseman. Had a single back in the first. Sade looks to second. Throws. That's going to be caught for an out, and the runners get back. Great reflexes there by Taryn Lawless, who caught that just a little bit of a liner for out number 1.
Yeah, like you said, Adam, that was just like really good reflexes by Taryn by like making that leap to catch it.
Incredible speed to jump from his spot right off of third into position to get that ball, and what very well could have been bases loaded is now runners on first and second with 1 out. The cleanup hitter, Silva, is up, walked back in the first. Sade looks and deals. High, 2-0. Yeah, sharp defensive play just at the right time is exactly what Oliver Ames has needed, and looking to see if that is what gets supplied by some of this new blood that's come in this year. That's going to get through the infield for a base hit. The runner will go. Here's the throw to home. Will it be in time? It will be mishandled. But the runner's going to third, and he will be tagged out for out number 2.
That was a great play by the catcher, Jack Giovanello.
Great heads-up play. And there's a lot of chatter from the stands about the runner being out. Should have been safe is what I'm hearing from some of the fans, but at the same time, he looked out to me there. And that'll be out number 2. 1 run did score on that single by Silva, and that means that now the score is 3-1 Oliver Ames. Runner on second.
That was easily like an out, in my opinion.
I will say it was close, Jaden, but the decision to run on that when the ball was in front of Giovanello, it was very easy for him to scoop it up and throw it to third. It was not advisable for him to run there. He took a chance, he gambled, and he lost, unfortunately, however you look at it. At least unfortunately, if you're a Falcon fan, popped up and out of play. But if you're a DR fan, you do look at the fact that you just chipped away 1 run away from the 3-run lead that the Tigers have held. And so now it's 3-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs with Hayden at bat, struck out in the first.
Any hit could bring in the guy at second, too, which
Absolutely.
would be big for them, too. So
he is in scoring position. 2-1. Any runner on second or third, we would say, is a runner in scoring position that a well-placed single will get that runner home, particularly in a high school where outfield arms aren't what they are in the major leagues. Down the third base line and just foul. If that was fair, you're looking at the second run for the Falcons. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The count
is 2-2.
Yep. 3-1. Tigers are ahead here early. Here's a pitch. Into the zone, strike 3, you may be seated. And that's it for Dighton Rehoboth, who does put 1 run on the board, but the second strikeout for Hayden, the 6th strikeout for Sade, and once again, Oliver Ames get themselves out of a jam. The score is 3-1 Oliver Ames going to the bottom of the third here in just a moment. Well, we have some community events to be able to share with you here between innings, and the community events are brought to you by Weinstein Keach. As one of Coldwell Banker Realty's largest and most successful sales teams, Weinstein Keach covers every aspect of the real estate transaction successfully and with the best service the industry has to offer. Weinstein Keach, we sell real estate. Well, as far as community events going on here in the town of Easton, if you have been driving around, you've seen some signs for the town election. An annual town election is coming up later this month, Tuesday, April 28th, from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can vote at the Oliver Ames High School Gymnasium. The deadline to register to vote is April 17th. The deadline to apply for ballot by mail is April 21st. Now, the annual town meeting, that's not the annual town election, but the annual town meeting that is held in the auditorium at Oliver Ames will be coming up on Monday, May 18th at 7 p.m. The deadline to register to vote at town meeting is May 8th. If you have any questions about elections or town meeting, you can go to www.easton.ma.us. You've also likely heard that there is the opportunity to vote on an override, and the Select Board on March 9th of this year voted to place 2 questions on the ballot of the annual town election for an operating override. It's called a menu-style override, where there are multiple questions with distinct and specific requests, and voters can vote for or against each question. The 2 questions: first, public safety, to hire additional police officers and firefighters, associated benefits for those employees, and other police fire training and expenses. Also, public works, funding roadway and sidewalk improvements, as well as 2 full-time DPW special equipment operator positions and associated employee benefits. Additional information, including the voter approval process, important dates, tax impact, and more, is available at www.easton.ma.us/override. We'll be at the bottom of the third here in just a moment, Jaden, and the story so far has been these 2 pitchers, and it has been interesting to watch both Alex Sade as well as Cole Viveros work going up and down, and then also working with the strike zone as well that does seem to be widening and narrowing at different times. And once again, I would be of the mindset, if I was at the plate, and obviously I'm not, but if I was at the plate, you'd probably want to be swinging away. Even if you think it's close, you've got to swing because you have no reassurance that you're going to get the right call. And, want to be careful in criticizing the umpires. These guys do a job that I would not want to do. But at the same time, we just have to look at the reality of what it is and how it plays out within the game. And right now, I think if you were Henry Burr, who is next at bat, that you'd probably want to swing away here.
I feel like as long as they make consistent calls, though, like throughout the whole game, that's all. Like, as long as they don't make like some bad calls and then like some good calls, like throughout the whole game, then as long as it's just consistent calls, then that's all that matters.
And that's a great point, Jaden. Every umpire has a little bit of a different strike zone as that falls in for a strike, 1-1. And some will go a little bit higher, some will go a little bit lower, maybe a little bit more of the plate than normal, but you just want them to stay consistent throughout the game. As a swinging strike there by Burr, 1-2. Burr started the second inning, and the Tigers were able to bat around, and so now he is starting the third inning as well. Strike 3, quick punch out there for Viveros as he gets his 5th strikeout of the game. And Burr, who had a single back in the second to start things moving, will sit down now, and Aiden Goddard, the DH, will be up for his second at bat. He struck out in the second. Again, the score is 3-1. It's the bottom of the third. OA up early. And if you are a faithful ECAT viewer, having watched many of the games last year, you know a lot of times the Tigers had to dig themselves out of a hole. So to see them in the position of having their foot on the gas, being in the driver's seat, whatever metaphor you want to use, is an absolutely wonderful thing to watch here at the start, especially with such a young squad.
Hey, what do you deal, Cole?
2 quick strikes for Vivero.
Yeah, his pitcher has like 5 or 6 strikeouts, I believe.
Yep, he's got 5 so far. 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, 3 runs on his stat line so far, as that is hit well foul and out of play.
any Tiger right now currently is just looking to make some contact to get on the field right now.
Well, there's been some fielding errors by Dighton Rehoboth, and so you just feel like if you put it in play, you have a decent chance to be able to make something happen. But Viveros has found his groove again with another strikeout, and that will be out number 2. And this is always true for high school sports, high school athletics, high school baseball, but particularly, again, with 2 younger squads. You just put it in play and hope something happens, because a fielder could misplay, a outfielder could misread a fly ball, an errant throw goes wide into the dirt. All of these can make a difference, and all that has come into play so far here early in the game.
As Jack Giovanello is up to bat again for his second up at bat after in the first inning or second he got a single.
1-1 is the call. Grounder to the third baseman, who will throw to first, and it will be not in time. And speaking of wild pitches, there's another one right there, and Jack will take second base, and I don't know if he would have made it in time. That was a great throw as far as speed, but it was in the dirt, and the first baseman, Hayden, wasn't able to dig it out. And so on the throwing error, Giovanello will take second, and the inning stays alive. And that is exactly what I was just talking about, Jaden. You put it in play, and you don't know what's going to happen. And Jack's a great example of that right there. Tommy Regan, again, the newly crowned captain, one of 3. As that ball inside, but tails into the zone. 0-1, 2 outs, runner on second.
When the pitcher's past the first baseman or the throw, can you run to third or no, or is it just automatically you can only run to second?
So if there's an overthrow, that's a great question, Jane. If there's an overthrow, you can take one base and that's it. Especially in a place like Oliver Ames where there's no fence around the field, because that throw could have gone for miles. And so because of that, Giovanello could have easily taken third, but the rules of the game are you can take one base. High and deep. Is it going to be caught? It's over the head of the left fielder. That will score one. Incredible hit there by Tommy Regan. Another score, and Oliver Ames gets back the run that they just gave up in the top of the third, and it is 4-1 Oliver Ames with that blast from Tommy Regan. Good job, Tommy.
That was a great hit. That was a powerful hit. It went so high right there.
That ball just went and went and went until it fell over the head of Mello, the left fielder. And again, going back to the dimensions and the uniqueness of Worcester Field, there's no fence to stop that ball, and so it can roll all the way to the berm. That berm is over 400 feet. The dimensions here are just very, very unique, and so very easily Tommy Regan was able to go to second as that ball was well over the head of Mello.
As Dunmead is up for second up at bat, and he got a single in the first time.
I think it's our friend Brady Shattus.
Oh, yep.
And it is 2-1. Of course, he was the hero of the last inning with his own double.
My bad.
So that's okay. Brady is getting slighted right and left here from us, but he's up to bat right now.
Oops.
And looking for another double. Well, at least you could say his name right, Jaden. I haven't gotten that right the whole game yet. But Brady up to bat, runner on second, looking to make contact again. And he does, but it's foul, and that will go towards Park Street, where it falls to the fence before it hits the cars. This is a good time for a public service announcement from your friends at Easton Community Access Television. If you come to Frothingham Park, make sure you don't park near Frothingham Park, because a foul ball could certainly ruin your day when it goes through your windshield. Tag towards third base, where the first baseman will handle, double pumps, and that will be a throw that is on time for out number 3. Well, the Tigers put on another run, reclaim what they lost in the last half inning, and so it's 4-1 Tigers. We'll be back for the fourth in a moment here on ECAT.
just into our second week of the season. Our first game will be Friday. We had a scrimmage on Saturday over at the regional where we did pretty well. We got good numbers this year. A lot of younger players that are coming up this year, which is a plus, who have experience down from the youth program, and a couple of older players who haven't played before but are good athletes and are willing to learn. So this is a good start to the season, and we're looking forward to what's coming down the road.
So this season we got a young team, super excited for it. Coming off last season, didn't have a strong season, had a bunch of tough losses, overtime, 1-2 losses, but we're coming back stronger. A bunch of guys have been doing club, so hopefully they got their stick work up. We're gonna be a small team, about a smaller kids, but hopefully that won't be too big of a factor. It's a physical sport, but we're here. We got a bunch of people who are about that grind, who are trying to be gritty and just work through those disadvantages, but we're gonna work hard, grind, and hopefully come out with some big wins.
This season we got an early jump on captain's practices. We started doing some towards the end of August, and then we kind of picked up more once the school year started. And we're just trying to get as much time on the field as we can despite the less than ideal weather before the season starts for our first game on Friday.
Yeah, so
Top of 4, and it's Oliver Ames Tigers 4, Dighton Rehoboth Falcons 1. Designated hitter Bouchard is up next for DR. Curves into the zone, 0-1. If you're a Tigers fan, you're certainly encouraged by what you've seen so far. And DR came in with a punch at the top of the third, and they counterpunched by claiming that run back. And so they were up by 3 at the beginning of the third. They're up by 3 now at the top of the fourth. And some of that stick-to-itiveness is really what you want to see from the Tigers compared to last year, where, again, games could get out of hand very quickly. 0-2 count from Sade to Bouchard.
Looking to keep up his momentum with the strikeouts.
Yeah, Sade has punched out 6 so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. As I'm counting them up, and that is correct. 6 strikeouts so far in the game. Ball 1 as tries to get Bouchard to chase, and he does not. Really 2 excellent outings for the pitchers so far, Jaden Sade and Viveros. In some ways, Viveros has been betrayed a little bit by some fielding errors, although he has been tagged a few times. Again, Bouchard will not chase, 2-2. Top of 4, no outs, Tigers up by 3.
Looking to get the first out of the inning.
Sade sets and deals. Roller that is collected by the shortstop. Throw to first is in time for out number 1. Good timely defense is what you're looking for, and that certainly was it. Bouchard grounds out for out number 1. Good job there by Zane Prescott. Collects the ball, throw right on target to Burr. That's what you're looking for, Tigers.
That's a pretty hard throw, too, with the wind especially.
Yeah, and the wind is picking up. I almost called you Evan. I don't know why. Jaden. Jaden. It absolutely does. Strike as Mello gets twisted into a pretzel there. 0-1. Here's a pitch. Strike 2. Zade continues to apply the pressure. Here's a pitch. In the dirt. 1-2. And you can definitely tell that the temperature's going down. You can definitely tell the wind is picking up a little bit. You might be getting that on the broadcast here. Just a touch. And I do have to wonder even if that ball that Tommy Regan hit last inning, that the wind just helped that carry just a little bit. Not that he didn't rip the cover off the ball, because he absolutely did. Strike 3. You may be seated. Punch out number 7 for Sade, and that is out number 2.
Looks like he left off from where he ended last season.
And Sade did have a great season last year, his junior campaign for the Tigers, and looking to build on that. Tigers have had good pitching the last several years, even going back to A.J. Baroncelli and some of the other guys
Ryan
who are not on the
Johnson.
team. Ryan Johnson, another great Tiger pitcher. The issues really over the last couple of years, at least from this play-by-play announcer's perspective, who's only done this for a couple of years, has really come down to hitting and even some fielding as well. We've seen flashes of brilliance in both those areas today, which is very encouraging. A 1-1 count that's actually 0-2, as that ball seemed to be outside, and I'm a Tigers fan, but that was outside. Call 0-2 nonetheless in the Tigers' favor.
Yeah, so
0-2,
far it's
2
promising home opener from the Tigers.
It is.
Like what we've been saying.
And just
Go, Jack.
below the zone,
Come on, Lynch.
1-2. Lynch flew out in the second, so he's 0-1 for the day. Swing and a miss, strike 3, strikeout number 8 for Sade. And DR will sit down. We are mid-4th, and the score is Oliver Ames 4 and the Falcons 1. Well, we are back to some community events, and once again, community events are brought to you by Weinstein Keach. Weinstein Keach, we sell real estate. Jaden, did you know, I'm going to ask you this, did you know that Easton has a Water Division Household Hazardous Waste Collection Day for Easton residents? Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Okay, did you know that you can bring such items as non-latex paint, acids, fiberglass resins, fluorescent bulbs, furniture, floor, metal polish, photography chemicals, hair dye, chlorine bleach, drain cleaners, fungicides, herbicides, insecticides, pesticides, that you can bring these to the DPW, and for a charge they will dispose them safely? Did you know that?
I did not know that.
You did not know that. You have not disposed your fungicides at the DPW before, have you? You haven't, have you? Okay, see, I'm choking you up. You don't even know what to say. So the fact is, if you have hazardous waste, you can bring them to the DPW. They even have free on-site document shredding. It is April 18th from 8 a.m. to noon at 130 Center Street, the DPW building. Do not, and I repeat, do not bring latex paint, commercial hazardous waste, construction waste, gas cylinders, ammunitions, explosives, biological wastes, household batteries, medications, and most importantly, Jaden, if you go, do not bring radioactive materials, all right? We don't want you to bring your radioactive materials to the DPW hazardous waste.
Yeah,
I guess
that would not be good.
I guess they have to say that, but you have to wonder if that's a problem for you, that there's a lot of questions we have in the first place. Again, if you have any questions, you can call 508-269-7181. Ask for Henry Narisian, and that is April 18th, 8 a.m. to noon at the DPW building. There's also Drug Take-Back Day the following Saturday. That is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. 46 Lothrop Street, North Easton. That would be the police department headquarters. And so any type of medications or anything of that nature can be turned in at no charge. And that is Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 25th at 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Well, we're at the bottom half of the 4th inning, and again, Tigers up by 3, 4-1 against the Falcons. And coming up next, up bottom of the order, Colin Dunmead. He had a single back in the 2nd inning. 1 for 1 on the day.
Now it's done meet up, not shot us, like I said
Right.
last time.
Yeah, that's right. You got him up a little bit early, but that's okay. Dunmead is up, and again represents the bottom of the order. And he thinks about it and takes, but it is strike 1. Again, encouraging start from the Tigers here this afternoon. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Collins chasing there just a little bit. 0-2 count, no outs. Top of 4, rather bottom 4. 4-1. High pop fly, which goes to shallow right field and is caught for out number 1. Back to the top of the order, Evan Zamilo up to bat. 0-1 for the day. Struck out, but also walked in the 2nd inning.
A little bit of everything from Evan so far on the hitting side.
And Evans, who you're looking to for a big bat here. And speaking of that, that is going to be line to second base and out number 2 very quickly.
Making some good contact so far in this inning. Just not getting it to, like, the right spots. But
Well, and like we said before, you just want to put it in play, and good things can happen. But DR had converted on both of those, and very quickly, 2 outs for the Tigers. Tigers in the orange jerseys, white pants. Falcons today in the green and yellow with the gray pants. Shades of the Oakland Athletics. Well, at least the Athletics. They're not in Oakland anymore. They don't have a home.
yeah, I like
at the
both
moment.
jerseys. Pretty
Yeah.
nice to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the classic orange from Oliver Ames. It's a fluorescent orange. It's not quite the burnt University of Texas orange. It's not quite the orange of the University of Tennessee. It's a great, great color.
They had their own shade of orange.
They do. 2-0, actually 3-0, as Viveros is down quickly. Prescott.
Hey, boys, pitcher change out. We got Ben Roth on the mound now.
Okay, we do have a pitching change that I missed.
Cole
And
is at shortstop now.
okay,
Viveros is at short.
all right.
All right.
So we do have a pitching change. Viveros is no longer on the mound, and so I apologize for that. We'll get you more of the details there in just a second.
I believe he's at shortstop. We just found out.
17. Go ahead and give us that name again.
So Ben Roth's on the mound. He's been on the mound.
Ben Roth?
Yep, so he started this inning.
Okay. Thank you. All right, thank you to DR Parent right there who helped us out with Ben Roth being on the mound. Viveros is over at short now, so Tigers fans, sorry for missing that there, but we got that under control, which means that in the midst of all that, missed a walk there for Ben Roth. So runner on first, 2 outs. Lawless back to bat, 0 for 2 so far, looking for his first hit. So one of the things that is sometimes difficult doing play-by-play, you miss some of the substitutions that don't necessarily come our way, and because of our vantage point, we don't see everything that we'd hope to see. But I definitely missed the pitching change there as the count's 1-1, 2 outs. Prescott at first after the walk. Tigers up by 3. Huge swing will go out into left field, and will it be caught? It will not. It's over the head of the left fielder who No, he caught it. He caught it for out number 3. A circus catch. Tip your hat there to Mello out in left field for making the catch, saving at least a run right there if that had rolled right past him. Excellent defense. And even as a Tigers fan, you have to say, good job there to DR. Well, that's the end of 4. It's 4-1 Tigers. We'll be back for the 5th here in a moment on ECAT.
We are just into our second week of the season. Our first game will be Friday. We had a scrimmage on Saturday over at the regional where we did pretty well. We got good numbers this year. A lot of younger players that are coming up this year, which is a plus, who have experience down from the youth program, and a couple of older players who haven't played before but are good athletes and are willing to learn. So this is a good start to the season, and we're looking forward to what's coming down the road.
So this season we got a young team, super excited for it. Coming off last season, didn't have a strong season, had a bunch of tough losses, overtime, 1-2 losses, but we're coming back stronger. A bunch of guys have been doing club, so hopefully they got their stick work up. We're gonna be a small team, about a smaller kids, but hopefully that won't be too big of a factor. It's a physical sport, but you know, we're here. We got a bunch of people who are about that grind, who are trying to be gritty and just work through those disadvantages, but you know, we're gonna work hard, you know, grind, and hopefully come out with some big wins.
This season we got an early jump on captain's practices. We started doing some towards the end of August, and then we kind of picked up more once the school year started. And we're just trying to get as much time on the field as we can despite the less than ideal weather before the season starts for our first game on Friday.
Yeah, so the coaches kind of set us up with a good, solid base. They kind of send us videos of what you should be doing, film breakdown.
We're back at Frothingham Park, top of the fifth, and Tigers up 4-1 over Dighton Rehoboth. Bottom of the order for DR as Smith, the right fielder, steps back in. Mighty cut for strike one. Struck out back in the second. Sade remains on the mound for his fifth inning of work. Here's the pitch. Good take there by Smith. 1-1 is the count.
It's been a very promising day so far for the home opener for these Tigers players.
It's a great home opener so far, but of course we still have 3 innings to go. 7-inning games here in high school. That's absolutely right, Jaden. We want to be careful about those things. I don't believe all those jinxes, but at the same time, I don't want to get involved with them either. So we don't want to say too much at this point because Dighton Rehoboth is a hungry team, and they have the capability to come roaring back at any moment. Their coach, Bill Cuthbertson, as that ball passes by on strike 3 and allows Smith, who legs it out to, although did swing through strike 3 because of the pass ball, is allowed to go to first and makes it in time. And that is where the very far backstop comes back to bite you. So what is a strikeout for Sade at the same time allows Smith to go to first. So we're looking at a runner on first, no outs, and the top of the order. Viveros back up for his third time at the dish. He's walked twice. Another pass ball as the runner now goes to second. The force out is now gone. And that's not what you want to see for the Tigers, because at least having a runner on first allows you to have a double play option that has now been taken off the table. And Smith looks very eager to continue to run on the bases. Watch him back there on second. 1-0 to Viveros. Well outside. 2-0.
So a strike and a pass ball in the same play is counts as a single, or if you make it?
It's a good question. If he strikes out, swings and strikes on the third, then he can still run to first, and because he wasn't caught, he was safe. And that's going to be sky high to center field, and it is caught for out number 1.
Smile with that great catch right there.
Yeah, good range there by Evan. Calls off Colin Dunmead and makes the catch for out number 1. Not necessarily the easiest thing to do with a gray sky like today, to be able to go out there and see the ball when it's skied high like that. So good cut by Viveros, but it is a long out. So runner on second now with 1 out as Sade calls Jack Giovanello up to the mound. Talk about the upcoming pitch sequence. Laughs about it a little bit, sends him back. And Castro up next, looking for his first hit of the day, although he walked back in the third. Still have Smith there on second. Looks like he may want to run. Low, 1-0.
Yeah, you can see him trying to go at the last second, but then hesitating. He really wants to. You could just tell by the way he's walking around. Yeah,
you can just see the runner kind of dancing around a little bit. He wants to move, but Sade's aware. He looks back again. Here's the pitch. Again low. Strike 2. And as this game goes on, you have to start to wonder if Alex's arm gets a little bit tired. Oliver Ames doesn't have anyone in the bullpen right now. Again, out to center field, Zamilo back, Zamilo over the shoulder and misses the ball, and that's going to score at least 1 as here comes, well, it may not. Here's the throw to home, but it is going to be very, very high for a triple, and here comes the runner wanting to come home but gets back. That is a stand-up triple for Castro. He absolutely destroyed that ball. Zamilo could not get a hold of it. Takes 3 bags. And what would have been a double because of the errant throw to home allowed Castro to go to third. So we're looking at a 4-2 game now. Oliver Ames up by 2 as once again the Falcons chipping away at the lead. But you got one out and a runner on third, and the guys are going to come in and talk about that. Evan ran after that ball, and there was a possibility he was going to catch it over his shoulder, but that was a very, very tough catch. Tough play for him to make. You can't blame him for not making it. But then the throw from the cutoff back in was just so high. There was a possibility that Smith could have gotten caught at home out with a throw that was on the mark, a good tag. But because it was off, not only did the run score, but you get a runner from second now moving to third.
As Miles coming to pitch, I believe.
We may have a pitching change here, and so we'll keep an eye on that here, Jaden. But you got to give your credit where credit's due to the Falcons, and Castro just absolutely ripped the cover off of that ball. Well over 300 feet was that to the left-hand side of the Frothingham Park sign that's out there in center field.
That's why you always need to be alert in the outfield.
You do, and and Evan got a decent jump on that, but just it was hit so hard. And again, I think what comes into play too, Evan, a little bit is that I called you Evan again. Jaden is, of course, we're talking about Evan Zamilo.
Just because I'm talking about him so much.
But the issue with the wind there carrying out towards center, the wind blowing out certainly gave that ball a little bit more pop than it would have had. So the umpires are going to come out and break up the conference, and we're going to take a look at see here who's on the mound, and it may be that Sade remains the pitcher. And it looks like that may be the case. I don't know. Coach Abar's talking to the umpires. It's 4-2. Tigers still up. One out. Top of 5. The runner is on third right now.
Yes, Milo, I believe, is probably going to be the reliever.
At some point, you have to wonder if Zamilo will come out in relief. Jack Devonshire getting another one of their pitchers, but I don't think he's actually here today. He's not in the lineup. I haven't seen him, and I can't say that he is or is not. Maybe you could see. Well, in saying that, well, I don't know, Jaden, so we'll have to find out.
I believe he's right there. The actual
Jack
other
Devonshire?
managers.
Okay, all right.
Remember, I saw him earlier hyping up Sade after that great first inning.
So it may just be that he's preserving himself to come in later in the game. We'll have to see. But Sade back off the hill, and that pitch was over the head of the ducking Mendoza. Ball 1. 1-0, 1 out. Tigers up by 2. The Falcons are knocking at the door with a runner on third. Sade with the pitch. Swung on, and that is deep once again into left, and that will score another run as it rolls up to the berm. Absolutely destroyed that pitch. The runner's going from second to third, and he will be well safe at third as Mendoza gets a stand-up triple for the Falcons. And now you're looking at a 4-3 score with Sade getting rocked by the last 2 batters, and it may be time for a pitching change, and it looks like that's what we're going to see here. And no shame for Sade today, who struck out 7 in 4 1/3 innings of work.
It's also not his fault either, because you can't control how far it's going to get hit. So.
Well, it's tough because he's the one that puts the ball out onto the field, but at the same time, there's a lot of different things that are going on. But Sade gets a round of applause from the crowd as his teammates come and give him well wishes for the work that he's done today. But this is going to be a pitching change here for the Tigers, and this pitching change is brought to you by the Easton Lions Club. Where there's a need, there's a lion. To be a lion, visit eastonlions.com. Now we're going to get a look here in just a moment at who is pitching, and from my vantage point, I can't see a number, but I would have to imagine if Jack Devonshire is here that it is him. We'll see. Nope, I think it's Evan Zamilo.
Yeah, it is Zamilo. That's why he came out.
So Zamilo will come from center out to pitch. And Zamilo will be here in a high-leverage situation with a runner on third, 1 out. Tigers clinging to a 1-run lead as DR has scored 2 here in the 5th. And this is where, once again, you want to see Oliver Ames take control. It's very easy to let a game get out of hand, Jaden, to allow a rally to take place. And we've seen so far Oliver Ames play with a lot of poise. In fact, more poise than you would expect for a team with so many younger players up on the varsity team. And so you want to see him shut him down here and then hopefully add to that lead over the next couple of innings. Zamilo, as with my understanding, his first outing pitching here this season. I may be wrong because I was not at Mansfield on Monday where the Tigers lost 9-3. However, we certainly know that it's his first home outing here. Kind of a submarine pitcher. Love being able to watch him. You'll notice, Jaden, that his release is low to the ground compared to more of an overhand style.
He has like a curve to his throw. It looks
more of a sidearm style, a submarine style, if you will. And so the batters will get a different look at the ball coming up to them from their vantage point. But you have the cleanup hitter, Silva, up next, who is 1 for 1 on the day. 0 for 1 so far. And you want to see Zamilo shut him down here and stop the bleeding. Outside, 2-0.
It's kind of hard to like see who he's gonna throw because of like the curve and like the submarine like throw, like we were saying.
Just a different release, and so the ball is going to come up to the batters differently, which sometimes can really confuse them because they're seeing the ball come up towards them rather than coming down towards them or straight at them. So there's some advantages to it, absolutely. But the count's 3-0, 1 out. And Zamilo with his next pitch in there for strike 1. Evan gets his first strike. Again, Silva at bat, walked in the first, had a single in the third. He's the cleanup. Switches his pitching release right there for for ball 4, rather. And so now runners on first and third with 1 out.
We need to play this very cautiously in the field. Can I make like any like throws that could risk them scoring more than 1 run on any like play? That would...
Any kind of wild throw here automatically scores that run on third, and you're correct. As Zamilo keeps Silva honest there on first, gets a little dirt on the jersey. 1 out, 4-3. Tigers cling to a 1-run lead. Zamilo looks. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Runners on the corners. The good news right now, Jaden, is with a runner on first, you can double up on a ground ball and end the inning. However, if you don't complete that double play, a run will certainly score. So, high leverage situation here for Zamilo. 2-0. 1 out. Hayden, the first baseman, at bat. It's a pitch. Strike 1. As Zamilo is mixing up his pitches as well as a little bit of his delivery there as well to keep the pitchers, or rather keep the hitters guessing.
Count is 2-1.
Make that 3-1 as that is low and outside. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners on the corners. Tigers up by 1. Zamilo coming into relief. Bases are now loaded with that walk. Zamilo has now walked 2. And Bouchard is next up at bat. He's designated hitter, 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a ground out.
This should be interesting to see how this plays out right now with bases loaded and only 1 out.
I'll be honest with you, Evan. It's I got to stop doing that. Jaden, it's good to see the Tigers in a pressure situation here early. They need to be able to build some confidence, especially with these younger players. That ball falls in for a strike. And it's good for them to be able to have some of this pressure and to be able to give these guys some experience, see how they handle it. And that ball pops up and is away. The runner is going to go towards home and will be safe to tie the game as that ball gets away from Giovanello. You're looking at a 4-4 ball game there, folks, with runners, runners on second and third now. There is no more force. So the great difficulty there is not only the fact that now the game is tied, but also that there is no more force out. You can kind of feel a little bit of the energy seeping away from the Tigers here and from the Tigers fans as the energy, and as that ball is going to go into the shallow outfield for a base hit. That will give DR the lead with 2 runs scoring and the runner from first going to second. And what was a 3-run lead for the Tigers has now turned into a 2-run deficit, with the Falcons now up 6-4.
Not what you want to see from the Tigers' perspectives.
A weak liner out into shallow right field, barely got into the outfield, but it's exactly what was needed. And because of that 2-run score, again, some throwing mistakes by the Tigers as that ball is fouled and out of play, and that one had some mustard on it. But again, you can feel the momentum turning here, definitely into DR's camp. 6-4, Dighton Rehoboth now has their first lead of the ball game here in the top of the 5th. Zamilo trying to work his way out of a jam. He inherited runners from Sade, but yet has also given up some hits of his own now. Swinging strike 2, 1-2. Mello has struck out twice so far here this game.
Definitely was not an easy part to come into the game, in this big part of a game, and then like your first pitches of the season, possibly.
Foul tipped. Count remains 1-2, and you're absolutely right. It's part of the curse of being a reliever, is that you have to pick up where your companion left off, where the previous pitcher was, and in his case, he was in a difficult situation. Popped up once again as he stays alive, and Giovanello tries to get it, but it falls behind the Tigers' dugout. And again, we're at 1-2 for the count. 1 out. Falcons up by 2. Tigers were in prime position here early, but have given up 4 runs here in the top of the 5th inning. Zamilo with the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, just what the doctor ordered, and that will be out number 2 as Mello falls victim to his 3rd strikeout of the afternoon. Jack Lynch up next, the second baseman. Runner on second, 2 outs. Zamilo looking to close it out here and end the top half of the 5th inning. Fouled off, strike 1.
It hit the fence right in front of us, to the side.
Zamilo looks and deals. Tapper to the second baseman and fielded cleanly, thrown to first to Henry Burr for out number 3. But the damage is done as DR hangs up 4 in the top of the 5th and now is in the lead 6-4 over the Tigers here in the top of the 5th. We have some more community events to give you here in between the top and bottom halves of the 5th inning. And once again, community events are brought to you by Weinstein & Keach. Weinstein & Keach, we sell real estate. Now, we talked about household hazardous waste last half inning. Jaden, I don't think we can ever get better than that. That was some pretty interesting stuff right there. However, there is an Easton Wings of Hope fundraiser coming up on Saturday, April 18th at 10 a.m. That's at Oliver Ames High School. The Wings of Hope is excited to announce Volley for Hope, a community volleyball tournament and fundraiser supporting the Coalition's mission to prevent youth substance abuse. The event will take place on April 18th at the Oliver Ames High School Nixon Gym. Teams of 6 to 8 players are invited to participate. Registration is open to high school students and adults. The registration fee is $200 for student teams and $250 for adult teams. If you're interested in participating, please register your team by April 1st. So that would have been a few days ago. But thank you for your support. We look forward to bringing the community together to raise funds and help create a healthier Easton. For more information to learn more about the event, go to eastonwingsofhope.org. Also, there is a fire safety night coming up on Tuesday, April 14th at 7 p.m. That's at the Simmons Lecture Hall at Oliver Ames High School. Captain Michael Green will talk about the top 10 safety items that you can have in your home for fire safety, followed by question and answers. Brought to you by the Easton Women of Today group here in Easton and also in partnership with the Easton Fire Department. For more information, go to easton.ma.us. Well, if you're a Tigers fan, what just happened over the last half inning certainly is a bit disheartening to watch them drop 4 runs, watch DR drop 4 runs on the Tigers. But at the same time, this is a chance for the Tigers to show some resilience, and something that didn't always take place last year. And so, once again, you're not wishing that you gave up the lead. None of us are. But at the same time, you do hope that they can rally to the challenge and take that lead back here.
It's good experience for them for the rest of the season.
It's exactly right. Ben Roth, in his second inning of relief, pitches well outside for a ball to Henry Burr. Burr had a single in the second, struck out in the third. In the corner there for a strike, 1-1. Looking for a leadoff hit here to be able to try to get that momentum to swing back in the Tigers' favor. 1-1 to Burr. The pitch from Roth. Outside, 2-1.
Yeah, Burr's a really strong hitter. Remember I saw a couple games last year where he hit it way on the field.
Well, there's a reason he was a sophomore and on the big squad, and his bat was one of those reasons, no doubt. Roth deals. Just hits the corner. 2-2. And again, if you see anything that is close, you've got to chase after it, because this strike zone is wide, and the strike zone, well, it changes. Now, thankfully, that was pretty clear. That was a ball. 3-2. Full count for Henry Burr.
Luckily, that was a ball. I would hope it would be. But
we both
at this
hoped
point,
it would be. You don't know. You couldn't be more right as that's fouled off into the crowd. A lot of blankets out in the crowd this afternoon. A lot of hot cups of coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. I know I've had mine. The crowd is dug in and wanting to see a Tigers victory. Ooh. Tags it for a base hit. That's going to be a gapper. That'll be at least one as it goes up the hill towards the tree. He's going towards 2. I don't know that was necessarily the best move, but he is in safe for a double. Henry Burr with the gutsy turnaround first, going to second.
Well, as we say, he's a big hitter.
He is safe. The big bat makes a big hit for a double, and that was what the doctor ordered if you are Oliver Ames, as that was a gapper that started to roll up that hill right next to the tree. And Henry Burr is not the speediest runner on the Tigers, but yet he made the decision to go and never look back. Great slide, great awareness, and now we have a runner in scoring position with no outs and the tying run at the plate.
As Aiden Goddard is up to bat again, the DH.
Now, Aiden has struck out twice so far today, but Jaden, that kind of makes me think that he's due for something.
Yeah,
so
you got to get it one eventually, right?
That's what we're hoping. Yeah, well, that's what we're hoping. No matter your perspective so far today, it's been an exciting ball game, and so we hope you stay with us all the way through the end for the next 2.5 innings of action here on ECAT as he strikes through, or rather swings through for a strike. 1-2. Again, Aiden struck out twice so far today. Looking for his first hit. Burr takes his lead on second. And really at the place, you just want to move him along. Even a sac fly here would be good. And that is going to be a pop-up into foul territory as the catcher runs Silva, but doesn't get there in time.
He went diving right into the Tigers bench almost.
Good energy there from him. He was going to do everything he could, but it was just a little bit outside of his grasp. Count remains 1-2. No outs. Runner on second. Tigers were up early, but now down by 2. Ben Roth in for relief from Viveros, who Cole Rivero struck out 6 while he was pitching. Low. Good take there by Goddard. 2-2.
It's a big pitch right here. If he wants to get on base still.
hit foul. Just
That was a great hit, though.
Just a little bit late on a swing. That could have easily scored Henry Burr if it fell into fair territory, but good contact. Again, we remain 2-2 as batter calls time. Now digs back in. Aiden looking for his first hit of the day. Burr lurking on second. Ben Roth looks back, deals, and that is outside for ball 3.
We're hoping for Aiden to get on base for the first time today. Cross our fingers.
Good at bat for Aiden. Full count. Runner on second. Here's the pitch. Dribbler back to the pitcher, who is going to throw to first, and it will be in time for out number 1. The ball was hit slowly enough to the pitcher that Henry Burr had no opportunity to advance to third. So because of that, it is now 1 out. Burr remains on second, and Giovanello, the catcher, is in for his third at bat. He's 2 for 2, 2 singles. He's had the hot bat today.
He called a little timeout or break to get.
Yeah, it seemed like someone called a timeout there. It may have been on Jack there. Slaps it down to the shortstop, who makes the play. Throw to first is not in time. Good job by Giovanello to leg that out.
He's 3 for 3 today.
3 singles for Jack Giovanello. Banner day for him so far, as his first home start behind the dish as well. Puts Tommy Regan up. Of course, he has some RBI already to his account today. Had a huge double back in the third. And the opportunity for him to be the go-ahead run is here. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Low pitch called for a strike. Again, 0-1, 1 out. Runners on first and second. Tommy Regan at bat, the senior.
One wild pitch would be really huge for the Tigers right now, for the base runners.
It would be helpful, and it'd take some of the pressure off for the possible double play as well. 1-1 is your count. DR's has settled down a little bit with their throwing and with their fielding, where there were some errors earlier that were costly. They've really kind of got that nailed down here the last couple of innings. Tommy calls time, but now steps back in. The righty. The pitch from Roth is low. The catcher keeps it in front of him, Silva.
Yeah, Henry Burr took a big lead right on that pitch where the catcher didn't get it, but luckily no one was at second base, so that's good.
Burr's aware that there was an opportunity to move towards third, but he realized because the catcher kept the ball in front of him, he needed to stay put. Great swing, but foul.
Tigers making a lot of good contact today, even if it's foul ball. At least they're making some hits still.
Yeah, you got to get some metal on the ball, and Regan just did that. Regan, 2-2. Again fouled off as he stays alive. Watch out. There were times last year I had trouble calling him Tommy Regan. It's Tommy Regan. And so I want to make sure we get that right. Of course, I've had some problems pronouncing names so far this game, the first game of the season. Try to get past that. But it's Tommy Regan who is at bat. 2-2, 1 out. Runners on first and second. He has the opportunity with the swing of the bat to maybe tie this game up. Here's the pitch. Connects to the shortstop, or to that second baseman, who makes the grab for 1 and is not able to turn 2. The possibility of a line out there was real, but the ball dropped right in front of the glove of the second baseman, Lynch, who turns one at second base but is not able to turn two, which means now you have runners on the corners.
And shot toss is up. Brady.
Shot toss. Brady shot toss. There he is.
You got it.
Okay, yeah, we're trying. We're trying, Jaden. We're going to make this happen.
We're improving.
We got 10 games. We're going to make this happen by the end of the year to make sure we got his name right. Brady's already had a good game so far. Young sophomore in a big spot here. Runners on first and second, 2 outs, trying to chip away at that 2-run lead that the Falcons have over the Tigers. He had a double in the second. Here's a pitch. Foul tip. 0-1.
Look, I heard that hit someone. I couldn't tell who, though. I heard it, like, go off something.
Not quite sure. Couldn't see that, but definitely foul tip. 0-1 again, 2 outs. Runners on first and third. Here's the pitch. Oh, and he plunks him right in the back, and that will load up the bases, and he'll take that one as a badge of honor as he has now loaded up the bases with 2 outs. Colin Dunmead at bat.
That was a hard. I could really hear that from all the way 60 feet back.
Yeah, good old-fashioned plunking right there from Ben Roth. Of course, there was no animosity behind it, just got away from him a little bit, and Brady did the right thing just by turning his back into it. But now you got bases loaded, 2 outs with Colin Dunmead at bat. He's the bottom of the order. Big opportunity for him. He's 1 for 2 on the afternoon. And he hits that to center field and trying to see if the center fielder's going to get it, and he does for out number 3 for his second fly out of the afternoon. Tigers knocking on the door but not able to convert, so that means the score remains 6-4 DR. We'll be back for the 6th in a moment here on ECAT.
We are just into our second week of the season. Our first game will be Friday. We had a scrimmage on Saturday over at the regional where we did pretty well. We got good numbers this year. A lot of younger players that are coming up this year, which is a plus, who have experience down from the youth program, and a couple of older players who haven't played before but are good athletes and are willing to learn. So this is a good start to the season, and we're looking forward to what's coming down the road.
So this season we got a young team, super excited for it. Coming off last season, didn't have a strong season, had a bunch of tough losses, overtime, 1-2 losses, but we're coming back stronger. A bunch of guys have been doing club, so hopefully they got their stick work up. We're gonna be a small team, about a smaller kids, but hopefully that won't be too big of a factor. It's a physical sport, but you know, we're here. We got a bunch of people who are about that grind, who are trying to be gritty and just work through those disadvantages, but you know, we're gonna work hard, you know, grind, and hopefully come out with some big wins.
This season we got an early jump on captain's practices. We started doing some towards the end of August, and then we kind of picked up more once the school year started. And we're just trying to get as much time on the field as we can despite the less than ideal weather before the season starts for our first game on Friday.
Yeah, so the coaches kind of set us up with a good solid base. You know, they kind of send us videos of what you should be doing, film breakdowns, and then through the captains, they'll kind of extend it through.
The temperature is dropping here at Frothingham Park, but anxiety is rising as we are in the top of the 6th, and it's 6-4 Dighton Rehoboth. Oliver Ames had the lead until the 5th inning, where 4 runs were registered for Dighton Rehoboth, and the Falcons are now up by 2. Oliver Ames trying to knock on the door at the bottom of the 5th, but were unable to convert with bases loaded and 2 outs. The right fielder Smith is back up. He's struck out twice so far today, but is up in the count 2-0 over Zamilo. 2-1 is the count after that foul pitch, or pitch that was fouled off, rather.
Was that some Milo? Or is that? I feel like that's someone else.
Is that, well,
Wait.
we may have
That'd
had
be
a
Jack
pitching change.
I think that's Jack Devonshire. Yeah.
Well,
Wait.
we'll figure that out in just a moment as it is fouled off, and maybe Zane Prescott, number 13, and both of your broadcasters were away from our position here for a few moments, so if there was a pitching change, we might have missed it, but it looks like number 13 out there as the count's 2-2, and it is. Inside ball 3, so we have a pitching change. Zamilo is no longer pitching, and it's Zane Prescott. Zane Prescott is your pitcher for Oliver Ames. Good eye there, Jaden.
I couldn't tell who.
Inside ball 4, and Smith will get his first walk. First walk, but also first appearance on base here for this game. Back to the top, the order. Viveros will be back up for the Falcons.
Oh, yep, Evans at shortstop. I see him right now, yep.
Okay. So defensive changes made for Oliver Ames during the break. Prescott in there for a strike. Runner on first. No outs. DR up by 2 here in the top of the 6th. Zane Prescott with his first appearance here at home this year. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2, and the throw back is not in time. Looked like they may have caught Smith napping there, but he slid in just under the tag. Heads up play by Giovanello there to see Smith, who may have been taking a little bit of a nap there on first. 0-2.
As the Tigers have had a couple of new pitchers in this game. They have had 3 different pitchers so far.
Third pitcher, you're exactly right. Sade, Zamilo, and now Prescott. And Viveros called time right as Prescott was getting ready to deal, maybe trying to throw him off his tempo a little bit. Here's the pitch. Tagged into the outfield for a base hit. Runners on second and first now, and no outs, as DR is looking to add to their lead. Viveros gets his first hit of the afternoon, and Castro steps back up. Big double last inning that turned into a triple because of a throwing error.
Ooh.
Pass ball there, which makes the runners move forward to second and third, just off the top of Giovanello's glove, and runners now at second and third. The force is gone. And you have to feel, if you're a Tigers fan right now, just that feeling that maybe this is slipping away a little bit. And certainly that doesn't have to be the case, but you want to see the Tigers regain some of the composure that they had earlier in the game. Again, this is a young squad. This is a group of guys that have mostly not played on the varsity level, and they're getting some great experience here this afternoon.
It's cool to see a sophomore as one of the pitchers in their first opening game. It's pretty cool to see.
It is, and you hope that Prescott ends up getting a long career here for the Tigers. He's starting as a sophomore. He could pitch for 3 years. 2-0 count. 2-1 count as he hits a mighty cut.
That's definitely a fastball. I could see it, like, how fast he threw it out of his, like, the release out of his hand.
Jordan Castro looking for another big hit there. 2-1. Again, runners on second and third. Outside, that ball did not curve in as he was trying to. So 3-1. Coach Cuthbertson giving some encouragement to his guys over from third base. Zane looks, deals, nips the corner there for a strike. Great placement there by Zane. 3-2.
That was a close call.
And the Tigers could really use this punch out here. Again, 6-4, runners on second and third. Zane Prescott now in relief. Giovanello and Zane talking about the pitch. Gives the sign, shakes it off, makes the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's a big strikeout there for Oliver Ames as Zane gets his first strikeout of the afternoon and exerts a little bit of control here as now there's 1 out with the runners on second and third. And Mendoza steps in, who also absolutely ripped a triple earlier in this game. 2 for 3 so far, and that ball falls into the zone. 0-1.
Nice pitches from Zane right here.
If you go all the way back to the first inning, Jaden, the Dighton Rehoboth had bases loaded, and the Tigers shut them down. And you're looking for something similar here as that ball falls away foul. To have the poise to make sure that this inning doesn't get out of hand. You've seen it before from the Tigers. We're looking for it here again. One of the peculiarities of a game here at Frothingham Park is we have someone walking their dogs in the outfield. And it looks like Rover and Lassie are running out onto the field as the umpires have to call. This is why you use a leash, folks. Leash laws are there for a reason.
What cute dogs, though.
And Brady grabs the leash. Maybe his biggest play of the afternoon is rescuing the dog from the owner. When we say Frothingham Park, folks, it literally is a park. There are people walking through. She cannot control her animal. There they go. And there it goes.
We're commentating on the dogs now.
And Rover is running towards center field. Owner cannot make the catch. It's unbelievable. You never know what you're going to see here at Worcester Field.
So it's a new surprise every day, I guess. Yep.
And it seems like she has collected her pets and is walking away, and the game will be able to continue. Wow. That's a new one on me, Jaden. I've never seen that in the years that we've called play-by-play. We've seen people walk in the outfield but never lose control of their pets. But don't forget to help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered, as Bob Barker would say, as that ball is skied high into shallow center field, where it is caught for out number 2 as we get back to baseball and away from the shenanigans. The good news out of all of that is that now there are 2 outs. Runners remain on second and third, and that hit was shallow enough that there was no opportunity for the runner on third to tag and come home.
Yeah, that was a wild sequence of events.
It certainly was, starting from the pitches themselves to the dogs to the what happened there. It looks like, that's a different puppy there. In the zone for a strike as Zane is finding his groove here in the top of the 6th. 6-4 DR. The Tigers trying to hold the runners on second and third. Need 1 more out to get out of the inning. Little tapper to the second baseman, who will collect, throw to first, and that is out number 3. And my friends, the Tigers, who were in some real trouble there, got out of the jam, and the score remains 6-4. Gutsy play there by the Tigers as the fan with the dog remains prowling in right field.
He's going for his next victim now on the Dighton Rehoboth.
Yeah. Well, what was interesting about that is it just stopped the flow of the game there for a second, and you felt like DR was knocking on the door, and everything just stopped. And as soon as we got back to play, Prescott had his foot on the gas. And so excellent work. So far, Sade with 4 1/3 innings of work, Zamilo with 2/3 inning of work, and now Prescott with 1 inning in the books. Well, we'll give you one more set of community events, and once again, community events are brought to you by your friends at Weinstein & Keach. Weinstein & Keach, we sell real estate. Well, there's some upcoming events here at, as I try to turn my page without having the wind take it away, some upcoming events actually at Stonehill College, our neighbors here on Route 138. Professor and author Scott Ferguson will be speaking at April 14th at 11:30 a.m. in the Martin Auditorium. Professor Ferguson teaches political communication and government as an adjunct professor at Stonehill College, where he received the 2025 Award for Excellence in Teaching by Adjunct Faculty. Join Professor Ferguson for a discussion about his upcoming book, How the Democrats Lost America, Making Sense of the 2024 Election and the Future of American Politics, available September 7th, 2026. Books will be available for purchase at the event. Then also, Representative Seth Moulton will be at the McCarthy Auditorium May Hall on April 16th at 7 p.m. A Marine Corps veteran and congressman from the North Shore, Seth Moulton has spent his time in Congress taking on a Washington stuck in the status quo to deliver for working families and for our democracy. In Congress, he's championed bold and progressive efforts to expand housing, transit, and access to health care, led the creation of the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, pushed his party back to fight harder against the current presidential administration. Seth has served 6 terms in Congress and is currently running for Senate to deliver results for Massachusetts families and bring a new generation of leadership to our country. And that seems to be a press release from Representative Moulton himself, and he is going to be speaking on April 16th at 7 p.m. at the McCarthy Auditorium, May Hall. If you're interested, check it out at Stonehill College. Well, we are rapidly approaching the end of this game, and as we've done so, boy, it's been a seesaw affair. And really, if you were to take out, Jaden, just that 5th inning for Oliver Ames where DR was able to hang 4, you're looking at a much different ball game. But here we are nonetheless. The Tigers are down by 2 instead of being up by 3 as they have been for most of the game. But yet even last inning, they had the opportunity with bases loaded and 2 outs. The opportunities are there. The bats have been pretty hot so far today, at least compared to last year. And so let's see what happens here. And the bottom of the 6th.
Big time to show up.
Zamilo represents the top of the order, and he absolutely crushes that ball, and it's going deep. And that's well over the head of the center fielders. He runs to second. He rounds second, going to third. Legs are pumping. He's safe at third. Absolutely incredible triple from Evan Zamilo. He got every bit of that ball, and that's what you're looking for as your Oliver Ames, looking for that lead-off triple. Zamilo on third, no outs.
That got the fans and bench hyped, and the commentators, me and you.
That got everybody
hyped,
excited,
yeah.
As long as you're a Tigers fan.
Not Dighton, Rehoboth, that's true.
No, that is for sure.
Oh.
Prescott up to bat as that ball is at his feet. 1-0, and you can hear the Tigers absolutely come alive with the crack of the bat. It's like the whole Tigers team exploded, and you can feel just a little bit of a momentum shift here.
You could tell it was coming. I could just feel it, the energy around like them.
Well, the identity of the Tigers last year may have been that there was some difficulty when times got tough. But to see them stick with it and really just punch back when punched is something you're looking for in the identity of the 2026 Tigers. Prescott shows bunt but pulls back. 2-1 is the count. Again, Zamilo on third. Prescott represents the tying run. Here's the pitch. Inside, but called a ball.
2-2 is the count.
Prescott's walked twice and struck out. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Ben Roth registers his first K of the afternoon. Runner remains on third, 1 out, as Taryn Lawless steps up to the dish. 0 for 3. High. 1-0. Zamilo 90 feet from home plate. Love seeing the dirt on the jersey, the dirt on the pants. That was a great slide into third just a few moments ago. As that ball low, called strike.
Yeah, that definitely was questionable, but can't really complain if it's a ref, I guess. So.
Well, you can, but Doesn't do any good. So 1-1 is the count. Lawless, well inside, and scoots himself out of the way enough to avoid getting hit in the hip. 2-1.
Yeah, if he hadn't moved there, he probably could have just gotten a free base and gotten hit or something. Probably.
Ben Roth, low for a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike. Zamilo on third. Lawless, the 3-hole. At the bat, sophomore. Here's a pitch. Ball 4. Wasn't sure if the umpire was going to call that as a ball or a strike, but ball 4 means that we have runners on the corners with Henry Burr back to bat. Last inning, he had a double. Tying run now at first. Burr represents the go-ahead run at the dish. 1 out, 6-4. Dighton Rehoboth has the lead. Strike 1 called.
There's a little bit outside, it seemed like, from my point of view at least.
Again, yeah, it's hard to tell, Jaden, because it seems like the strike zone has been moving around, and it is hard to navigate. If it's hard to navigate for us here at our broadcast position, how much so when you're at bat, whether you're a Tiger or a Falcon, to know whether you need to swing or not. Taps that to the first baseman, who makes an excellent catch, but Taryn makes sure he gets back to the bag and doesn't get doubled up there. Good heads-up base running from him. So now you have 2 outs, runners on the corners. Aiden Goddard at bat looking for his first hit of the day.
Oh, no, that's Jaden Levine.
Do we have a substitution?
23.
We
Yep.
sure do. Excellent work there, my friend. So Jaden Levine comes in as...
Another Jaden.
Yeah, well, there you go. So I should call him Evan too, I guess. So strike 1. Jaden Levine comes in as the pinch hitter for Aiden Goddard. Goddard was 0 for 3. This is for his first opportunity for Levine this afternoon. Here's a pitch. Runner goes, and the throw will be made to second. A high sky throw that had no chance of throwing out the runner at second. So smart base running there from Oliver Ames, but the problem is it's 0-2 with 2 outs. So Levine needs to make it count here.
As the sun's trying to come out, it's definitely getting pretty sunny out here.
Bottom 6. Contact made, but fouled off. Stays alive, 0-2. One swing of the bat here could tie the game.
As long as it's like a fair ball and hit, I feel like you have a chance, like anytime. Yeah.
Ball in the dirt, 1-2. Silva does a good job keeping that in front of him. Again, any pass ball is a run scored here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on second and third. Falcons up by 2. Once again fouled off and out of play, as Levine does everything he can to stay alive.
Count is 1-2, with 2 outs. The bottom of the 6th inning.
Just outside. Just outside. 2-2. Once again, another tough call there. I don't know. I know it went the Tigers' way. That's all I know. 2-2. Make that 3-2 as Levine battles back into the count. 3-2. 2 outs. Runners on second and third. Tying run represented on second base. Levine in his first at bat fouls it off again. Staying alive. Good work by the pinch hitter there.
Big time moment for Levine in this game.
Ben Roth in his 3rd inning of work Here's the pitch. And almost hits him, but that is ball 4. The bases are loaded. Great job by Jaden to work back from an 0-2 count to get the walk and load the bases. Jack Giovanello up next. 3 at-bats, 3 singles for Giovanello, and it looks like it's time for Ben Roth as he will complete his day with 2 2/3 inning of work. 1 strikeout on the afternoon, 1 base on ball, 1 hit by pitch. Unless I'm mistaken, it does look like we're going to have a pitching change here, but it could be just a mound visit, so we'll have to see what happens here. I may have been a little bit hasty. We'll see exactly what happens if they have been worked through it. Nope, looks like there's going to be a change. And we'll try to get you the information about the new pitcher here in just a moment if that's what is taking place, and it looks like that may very well be what's taking place, Jaden. If you can get me the number there between the two. No, is Roth still in there?
Yeah.
He still is. All right. So I stand
non-visit.
corrected. Fouled off. Strike 1 as Giovanello up again. 3 for 3, 3 singles. So a little bit quick on my call there that he was getting the hook. He is not. He's going to stay in and try to work through the situation. Bases loaded for the Tigers. 2 out. 0-1 to Giovanello. Exactly who you want up at this juncture for the Tigers as he's had the hot bat this afternoon. Swing and a miss. Quickly goes down 0-2. Chased after that pretty badly there.
Yeah, that could have been a ball if he didn't swing at it.
Yeah, no doubt. The bottom dropped out on that pitch for him, and he chased it. 0-2, 2 outs, bases loaded. Here it comes. High and out of play. Jack stays alive. You can hear that wind probably on the broadcast right now, even with the windscreens on our microphones, and just the gusts are now going out towards center and left field. Here's the pitch. He tags it. Is it going to fall as a gapper? It will, and that's going to score 1. That's mishandled. That's going to score a second. We've got at least a tie game here, folks.
Go.
6-6. Oliver Ames has scored on that gapper that falls right in front of the center fielder who misplays it, allowing a second run to score that may have only been a 1-run hit right there. 1 RBI, but it ended up being 2. Unbelievable. The Tigers are back in it, folks. The score is 6-6. 2 RBI for Jack Giovanello. He is on fire today. Now runners on the corners, once again 2 outs, and the crowd has come absolutely alive here at Worcester Field. Another strong hit to center field, but it looks like it is going to be caught for out number 3. Tommy Regan once again with a strong hit, but yet caught for the 3rd out. Well, folks, you got to stay with us because it's the 7th inning. It's all tied. Let's see what happens next. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a moment here on ECAT.
We are just into our 2nd week of the season. Our first game will be Friday. We had a scrimmage on Saturday over at the regional where we did pretty well. We got good numbers this year. A lot of younger players that are coming up this year, which is a plus, who have experience down from the youth program, and a couple of older players who haven't played before but are good athletes and are willing to learn. So this is a good start to the season, and we're looking forward to what's coming down the road.
So this season we got a young team, super excited for it. Coming off last season, didn't have a strong season, had a bunch of tough losses, overtime, 1-2 losses, but we're coming back stronger. A bunch of guys have been doing a club, so hopefully they got their stick work up. We're gonna be a small team, about a smaller kids, but hopefully that won't be too big of a factor. It's a physical sport, but we're here. We got a bunch of people who are about that grind, who are trying to be gritty and just work through those disadvantages. But, we're going to work hard, grind, and hopefully come out with some big wins.
This season we got an early jump on captain's practices. We started doing some towards the end of August, and then we kind of picked up more once the school year started. And we're just trying to get as much time on the field as we can despite the less than ideal weather before the season starts for our first game on Friday.
Yeah, so the coach kind of set us up with a good solid base. They kind of send us videos of what you should be doing, film breakdowns, and then.
Already?
And we're back for the 7th. I hope you have made sure that you're staying where you're staying right now, wherever you are, because we have got a game here this afternoon. Strike one as Silva, actually it's not Silva, it's a Hayden up to bat. Hayden struck out twice and had a walk in the 5th. Strike two once again. Prescott in his 2nd inning of work now for the Tigers. And boy, we've got ourselves a seesaw affair. It is the 7th inning, of course, high school baseball. 7th inning is the final inning. Unless it's tied, we could go to the 8th. We could go beyond. But 6-6. Strike three as he watches it go by. You may be seated for out number 1, Hayden's 3rd strikeout of the afternoon.
That was Zane's first, I believe, of the game?
He actually has had, I think, one more.
Also 2?
Yeah, he's had 2. As far as I can tell, it starts to get to the point, Jaden, where my stats get a little bit sketchy going into the late in the innings, so I don't want to take any away. But there's another strike. Man, Prescott is dialed in right now, and the Tigers are feeling it from the dugout. Strike again. He misses once again.
5 in a row. Wow.
Swinging strikes. Great placement there by Prescott.
He's
Here's
right
the
down the
pitch.
middle, too. Yeah.
And that was not so much, unfortunately.
Went right to us.
That was, and if there was no fence, you would have got plunked in the head
Yep.
there, Jaden. But
Look, I'm short, so I could just duck down.
we could hide under the table, but we don't want to do that. So 1-2 is the count. Zane pitches. Put in there for strike 3, and he watches it go by for out number 2. Big strikeouts here for Zane Prescott. And just like that, DR has 2 outs. Mello back up. Struck out 3 times so far today. Zane pitches. Tapped foul and out of play. 0-1, 2 outs. And when I say this has been a seesaw affair, this has been in every sense of the word. Momentum changes aplenty here this afternoon. In the dirt. 1-1. Again, Mello 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts this afternoon. And you hope Prescott, who seems to be really, really feeling it right now, can punch out 3 in a row. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss with a mighty cut. 1-2, 2 outs, and Zane is 1 pitch away from retiring the side, and OA trying to get the win in the bottom of the 7th, walk-off style. Here's the pitch. A comebacker, which is fielded and will be picked up, but not in time. Actually, picked up and dropped, and Mello with an excellent job of getting that ball in play, running hard, and getting the single.
It went to Samilo, I believe.
I believe you might be right there, and that was a tough one to pick up, transfer from the glove to the throwing hand and to get to first, and just wasn't able to convert. Jack Lynch up next. He's also 0 for 3 this afternoon as Prescott looks to just close this top of the 6th. Pitch out. Ball 1.
This is a big batter for Zane right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely right, Jaden. Here's the pitch. High pop fly to shallow center field where it will be caught for out number 3. 3 quick outs for Dighton Rehoboth, and Oliver Ames is looking to win this one in a walk-off. It's 6-6, bottom 7. This one's exciting, Jaden.
Yeah, this is one of the best games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I've watched like 5 or 6 games last year, so.
Well, this has been an exciting one, and last year there were 2 home victories. There was one against North Attleboro, which I would say was their signature win of the year, winning against the number 1 team in the league here. I believe the score was 10-6. It was an incredible game. But then also a home win against Stoughton, a 10-run win in the rain last year. But nothing like this, and this is great, which is probably why this should be our time for our in-game summary, Jaden. And our in-game summary is brought to you by Morse Insurance. Morse specializes in business insurance, home insurance, car insurance, and more throughout southeastern Massachusetts and the South Coast. It's Morse, of course. Well, what do you say about this game, Jaden? You have the Tigers, who were up by 3 for several innings, and then Dighton Rehoboth in the 5th exploded for 4 runs, took the lead, were up by 2, and then bottom 6, the Tigers come back with 2 runs, and this has just been like a heavyweight match where 2 big guys are just trading body blows with each other, and that's exactly what's happened over the last several innings. Each one, these young squads, each one trying to find their way, each one trying to make sure they can find out who is who's even going to be on the roster as far as starters coming this year. And to watch this level of grittiness from both sides has been fun to watch. But I don't know about you, Jaden, but I'd love to call a walk-off right here.
Yeah,
and that's
pretty
exactly
cool.
what could happen. So it sounds like there's a pitching change. What do you got for me, Jaden?
Eric Mello.
All right, Eric Mello will be the catcher for...
Or pitcher, yep.
Or pitcher, yeah. I guess he's not going to be the catcher. That's a good point. See, this is why writing these things down and talking at the same time doesn't always work, Jaden. But Mello will be coming in for relief. He's been playing left field. He actually just got the first base hit, the single, just a few moments ago. And he'll be the 3rd pitcher. 3 innings of work for Viveros. Yeah. 3 innings of work for Viveros, 3 innings of work for Roth, and now Mello in relief. Tigers are going to be bringing up Brady Shotas, Colin Dunmead, and Evan Zamilo. That's a good 3 to start with here.
That's pretty.
Let's get it going.
Yeah.
First pitch, called strike. 0-1. Again, Brady has been hit by a pitch and also had that huge double back in the 2nd inning. Tigers are all on the rail in the dugout. That's going to be a grounder to the second baseman, who is going to throw to first, and it will be in time for out number 1.
As Dunmead is up?
Dunmead is up. 1 hit on the afternoon. Tigers looking to win the game here in the bottom of the 7th. 6-6. High-pressure situation for everyone involved. Again, a lot of young players on both sides here. It's going to be exciting to see what happens. Here's the pitch. Mello puts it in the zone for a strike. 0-1. Dunmead is a junior, batting lefty.
You don't see too many lefties.
Not today, we haven't. Slap down the first base line where it will be collected for out number 2. 2 ground outs, 2 quick outs. But that brings us to the top of the order and back to Evan Zamilo. You'll remember that he started the 6th inning with that absolute monster bomb that went for 3 bases. And wouldn't you like to see something like that here?
That'd be a big momentum change, especially with 2 outs.
Here's the pitch. Popped up and well out of play. Two outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Tie game, 6-6. If Zamilo's retired, we're going to extras. Here's the pitch. And he hits that one high and deep once again. It's out to left field, and it's going to go over his head. He's going to try to collect it and pick it up. Zamilo goes to second and stops. That will be a 2-out double for the Tigers. The winning run is in scoring position. And Zamilo once again comes up big after the triple in the 6th, hits a double in the 7th.
Now Zane, the pitcher that's been in for the past 2 innings, is up to bat.
Prescott making his own case as the pitcher here, now at bat, and is going for the win. He would actually get the win, be the winning pitcher, if he scored an RBI here. First pitch well inside as he scoots out of the way, 1-0. Runner on second, 2 outs. Tigers looking for the win. Here's the pitch. Down the third base line and foul. Boy, you want that a few more feet to the right past the extended glove of Mendoza, but fouled off. 1-1, 2 outs. Zamilo on second represents the winning run. Eric Mello pitching in relief. Here's the pitch. Great placement there by Mello. 1-2.
Yeah, any hit in this outfield right now currently could probably get them the win.
It's exactly right. Prescott down to his final strike. If it's tied, we go to extras. Zamilo moving around on the base path. Here's the pitch.
Oh.
That's going to go right down the middle, and it's going to be collected, thrown to first, and it will be in time for out number 3. Guess what, folks? We've got free baseball. We're going to be going to the 8th here in just a moment. The score is 6-6. Stay with us here on ECAT.
Are just into our second week of the season. Our first game will be Friday. We had a scrimmage on Saturday over at the regional where we did pretty well. We got good numbers this year. A lot of younger players that are coming up this year, which is a plus, who have experience down from the youth program, and a couple of older players who haven't played before but are good athletes and are willing to learn. So this is a good start to the season, and we're looking forward to what's coming down the road.
So this season we got a young team, super excited for it. Coming off last season, didn't have a strong season, had a bunch of tough losses, overtime, 1-2 losses, but we're coming back stronger. A bunch of guys have been doing club, so hopefully they got their stick work up. We're gonna be a small team, about a smaller kids, but hopefully that won't be too big of a factor. It's a physical sport, but we're here. We got a bunch of people who are about that grind, who are trying to be gritty and just work through those disadvantages, but we're going to work hard, grind, and hopefully come out with some big wins.
This season we got an early jump on captain's practices. We started doing some towards the end of August, and then we kind of picked up more once the school year started, and we're just trying to get as much time on the field as we can despite the less than.
Is it still? And we're back, and it is the 8th inning. Yes, it's extra innings here at Frothingham Park as Dighton, Rehoboth, and the Oliver Ames Tigers are locked up at 6 apiece. Prescott starts his 3rd inning here at the Hill. Number 19, Smith, is back up.
Should be a great inning from what we've seen so far in this whole game.
Well, the atmosphere here, even in the 40-some degree weather, is electric. And to be able to see the tenacity of the Tigers here today is encouraging. And win, lose, no matter what happens, to be able to see them fight this young squad like they have is certainly encouraging as the season goes on. Strike 2 as Smith strikes through it. He's had 2 strikeouts and a walk. Again, 1-2. Here's the pitch from Prescott. High. 2-2.
That's a wild throw from Giovanello.
But again, this has been a seesaw affair so far here this afternoon with the Tigers up, then DR up, and curves in, thought it dropped in the zone, but not called. 3-2. Full count to Smith. Gritty take from Smith not to swing at that. 3-2. Here's the pitch. Popped up high and out of play. Watch out, crowd. Falls behind the stands harmlessly, and the count remains 3-2. Yeah, the first extra inning game here at Frothingham Park for at least a couple of years. I know we didn't have any extras last year, and I don't believe the year before. So, free baseball. Of course, it's all free because there's no charge to get in here, but it's just extra baseball nonetheless. Strike 3 called as he thought that was ball 4, and he let it go by. Strikeout for Smith. Prescott once again gets a K, and Viveros is at the top of the order.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
That was very close. And again, it goes back to what we've been talking about all game, Jaden, is when they're close with an umpire where he has a wider strike zone and maybe a strike zone that shifts around a little bit, you got to make sure you're swinging the bat. 1-0 as Smith sits down his third strikeout of the afternoon, and Prescott's third in 3 innings on the mound. Viveros at his 5th at bat now. He's had 1 hit so far. 2-0. Here's a pitch. Right down the pike. Strike 1.
That's right down the middle. Pretty good.
And I will say, as the pitch comes, I mean, the weather out here, it's not pleasant. The game is very pleasant as that's popped up shallow center field as the center fielder runs, and will it fall? It will fall right in front of him for a base hit. Viveros has a pop-up that just falls between short and the center fielder. It's enough to get him on board. 1 out with Castro now at the bat. Castro has a triple so far this afternoon. Runner on first, 1 out.
Zane's
all
looking
tied.
at first.
Check swing, but strike 1 is the call from the umpire. Get all knotted up. Extras right now, the 8th inning. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Once again, checks his swing. Once again, strike is called. Strike 2.
Yeah, if you're going to hesitate to swing, at least at that point, just swing. So it makes it look more believable.
I think he was hoping that'd get called a ball, but it was not. Here's the pitch. High. A little bit of a pitch out there as Giovanello looked to first to see if the runner was trying to go. He was not. 1-2, 1 out, runner on first. All tied, top of 8. Pitch from Prescott, just outside. Ball 2. Again, we've had it all this afternoon. We've had some huge heroics at bat. We've had dogs on the loose. You name it, we've had it. Full count.
Yeah, say anything like you just said, and then we'll probably say we saw it today.
That's about it. That's about it, Jaden. 3-2 again, 1 out, runner on first. The count is juiced. And the pitch. And the runner goes as the throw is up near the head of Castro. And so either way, the runner takes his base and the hitter takes his base, runner goes to second.
Now we got runners on first and second with 1 out and number 11.
Mendoza, the third baseman, also has a triple to his credit this afternoon. He's 2 for 4. 1 out. The Tigers have been in this situation before where they've been able to shut down the Falcons with runners on base. Prescott losing the zone a little bit right now. 1-0. He's been out there for almost 3 innings so far.
Great experience for a young player like himself.
High pop fly to center field, where it will be caught for out number 2. Quick throw to make sure the runners do not advance. And the cleanup hitter, Silva, up next. Silva still looking for his first hit of the afternoon. Again, if you're just joining us, it is extra innings here at Frothingham Park. The score is Dighton Rehoboth 6, Oliver Ames 6. There's 2 runners on base with 2 outs. Zane Prescott, the sophomore, is here for his 3rd inning of relief. Here's the pitch. Curves into the zone for a strike. And again, the Tigers' dugout comes alive. 0-1. Zane looks and deals low. Giovanello makes sure that that ball does not get away. That is the last thing that you want here, is a passed ball. 1-1, 2 outs. The catcher, Silva, again at the dish. He pitches. Fouled off. 1 more strike. 1 more strike's what's needed here for the Tigers, and then they have the chance to chip away at the bottom of 8th.
It's a big pitch right here for Prescott.
He looks, and the throw to home. High. 2-2. Despite the conditions out here, the crowd has stayed with us, and why wouldn't they? Because it's a great game. Here's a pitch. Just high. 3-2.
They need a strike right here to end the inning.
Full count. Again, another high-pressure situation here. 3-2, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Zane looks, and the pitch. Strike 3 called, and Dighton Rehoboth will take a seat. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th with, once again, the Tigers having the opportunity to take the win this afternoon. The score remains 6-6. Well, Jaden, I'm out of community events.
So now
I'm out of reports.
What's happening, I guess. Yeah, what are you talking about?
We're out of sponsors. We're out of everything because we're in extra innings. But what more can you say about this contest than what we've seen already today? We've seen 2 teams that are looking to be able to find the future. Dighton Rehoboth, with so many of their seniors graduating last year, a core that remained together for about 3 years, all gone. They're looking to find the future. The same can be said for the Tigers, although they didn't have the same success that Dighton Rehoboth had last year. DR having gone all the way to the round of 16 in the D3 playoffs. But at the same time, there were some real anchors on the team last year that have graduated. I think of Drew Hall, and I think of A.J. Baroncelli, and there's probably others that are I'm missing off the top of my head right now. And so the Tigers find themselves in a very similar situation, but yet a lot of the younger players, and I think this is the story of the day, of the younger players coming up from JV.
Stepping up big.
20 out of 26 players on this roster were not on the varsity roster last year. But yet here they are going toe-to-toe in this heavyweight matchup, trading body blows with a team that made it very deep into the playoffs last year. I think if you're a Tigers fan, you got to be excited about what you're seeing today.
Yeah, like you said earlier, like we've been saying, Adam, it's like been a seesaw game because both teams have like retaken the lead from each other multiple times, and there's been like a lot of different events that have happened to like lean in one favor of one team specifically.
Yeah, we've seen several different facets of this game. You can go to the beginning of the game, and we had a pitching clinic to start. 7 straight strikeouts, 7 outs between Dighton Rehoboth and the Tigers, just striking out the sides. Then we went to some really big hits with both teams getting some big pops off the bats. You've had lead changes. You've had pitching changes. We've had 6 different pitchers so far today.
Name it, and we've seen it in this game.
Like I said, we had 2 dogs getting loose in the outfield. I mean, what more could you want from a Oliver Ames Tigers baseball game? We've had it all. And here we go. We're looking to finish this game off right here. How about we do it with the 4, 5, 6 hitters, Taryn Lawless, Henry Burr, and Aiden. Actually, not Aiden Goddard. He's been subbed out for Jaden Levine. So let's get this game finished, folks.
Pretty good lineup for the next 3 batters, I would say, at least personally. From
I
this
would
game.
agree with you. First pitch at the knees and outside for a ball. Lawless has a walk, but still looking for his first hit of the afternoon and his 5th at bat. Here's the pitch. Well outside for a ball. That was a strike.
Wait, what?
Whoa. I stand corrected.
That's what I've been saying the whole game.
Yeah,
you never know what to expect.
I assumed without even hearing the call that was a ball. 1-1. Make that 2-1 as that falls well low out of the strike zone. Eric Mello is now, well, is he? We may have a different pitcher again. I need to check my notes. I believe we do have a different pitcher here who I don't have the information for, but number 1 would be a new pitcher for Dighton Rehoboth. 3-1 is the count. So at the moment, we'll just call him the pitcher because we don't have the lineup card, a complete
it's
lineup
kind of hard
card
to tell
from
like,
Dighton
when
Rehoboth.
Pitchers are changing because they all look the same from back here.
Tagged for a base hit, and that will start with a leadoff single for Oliver Ames as Taryn puts it into play, and Henry Burr, the junior, steps up. 2 for 4 this afternoon. We know he's got a big bat. We know he has some pop. And so let's see what Henry can do with a runner on first. 6-6, bottom 8, runner on first. Tigers looking for the win. High skied into very shallow right field, and that will be out number 1. Burr, 1 pitch, 1 swing, and 1 out.
Yeah, I always try to look at the first pitch whenever I would bat when I used to play baseball, and just to see how the new pitcher is, and not just try to
It helps. It absolutely does help
Definitely
to get a good look. Levine back up to bat. He was well down at the count, 0-2, but fought his way back for a walk as a pinch hitter. Back in the 6th inning. Strike call. 0-1, 1 out, runner on first. Winning run is at first. Again, Tigers score, it's game over. Here's the pitch. Slap to the second baseman, who is going to make the tag at second. Throw to first will be not in time, so that is the 2nd out. And Goddard will make it to first, and thankfully, because of his fast feet, he keeps the inning alive.
As Giovanello's up to bat, the catcher.
Well, Jaden, we're looking at the possibility of going into the 9th inning here in just a moment.
That's crazy to say.
And you certainly want the Tigers to end it here, but there is the possibility looming of going into the 9th inning. As Giovanello, 4 for 4.
Oh.
Great catch by that
just
fan.
Caught
yeah.
It. Well, that's
great catch.
I've never seen a fan catch it. Wow.
That was excellent.
He should be on the team with us. I don't know.
That was great. I wish we could have seen that. That was great on camera. 0-1, and if you want someone at bat right now, it's Giovanello because he has been on fire. 4 at bats, 4 singles. Levine slides back as the threat of the put out there.
Yeah, the pitcher is definitely keeping a close eye on Levine.
He is, and if you're Levine, you just want to even just dance around there and distract him a little bit. Low, 1-1. 2 outs here at Frothingham Park. Bottom 8, extra innings, 6-6. Jack Giovanello, who has not missed this afternoon, is at the plate. Calls time, adjusts, digs back in.
It's a count to 1-1. Big time batter right here.
Outside, but called strike. 1-2.
Yeah, a lot of these are the outside calls in this inning so far from what we've seen.
Yeah, if it's about even an inch off the plate, especially on that far side of the plate, it's going to be called a strike. Yeah, I think that's
know by now at this point, I guess, in the 8th inning.
Time called again. Giovanello feeling the moment here a little bit. Levine at first represents the winning run. The new DR pitcher looks and deals. Be slapped down to the third base line. The throw to first, will it be in time? It will for out number 3. Believe it or not, Jaden, we're going to the 9th. We'll take a break, and we'll be back here in a moment here on ECAT.
We are just into our second week of the season. Our first game will be Friday. We had a scrimmage on Saturday over at the regional where we did pretty well. We got good numbers this year. A lot of younger players that are coming up this year, which is a plus, who have experience down from the youth program, and a couple of older players who haven't played before but are good athletes and are willing to learn. So this is a good start to the season, and we're looking forward to what's coming down the road.
So this season we got a young team, super excited for it. Coming off last season, didn't have a strong season, had a bunch of tough losses, overtime, 1-2 losses, but we're coming back stronger. A bunch of guys have been doing a club, so hopefully they got their stick work up. We're gonna be a small team, about a smaller kids, but hopefully that won't be too big of a factor. It's a physical sport, but we're here. We got a bunch of people who are about that grind, who are trying to be gritty and just work through those disadvantages, but we're gonna work hard, grind, and hopefully come out with some big wins.
This season we got an early jump on captain's practices. We started doing some towards the end of August, and then we kind of picked up more once the school year started. And we're just trying to get as much time on the field as we can despite the less than ideal weather before this.
I'm going to utter words I've never uttered before on ECAT. You ready, Jaden?
Yep.
We're going into the 9th.
That's crazy to say.
It's the 9th inning. If this is a major league game, it's just a normal day. But for high school baseball, where 7 innings is the norm, this is quite unusual. But boy, what a home opener you've got here for Oliver Ames with the score 6-6, top of the 9th. And Dighton, Rehoboth, and the Falcons, Dighton, Rehoboth, the Falcons, and the Tigers are locked into an incredible battle this afternoon.
Any hit at this point in the game is just going to matter the most for both teams.
Hayden, the first baseman, back up to the plate. Strike 1. Make that strike 2. As Prescott continues to pound the zone here. High, did he swing? First base ump says no. It seemed like he went around, but
yeah,
that may have just been my Tigers glasses that I have on. But it sure did look like he went around. Swings and tips it foul. 1-2.
One more strike for the strikeout, as Zane has a couple strikeouts right now. Zane getting ready to pitch, and he does.
Outside, 2-2. That wind still blowing directly into the outfield. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. You may be seated.
How many strikeouts is that for Zane right now?
Zane struck out 5 so far
5. All right.
in his innings of relief. For Hayden, that's his 4th strikeout of the afternoon.
The batter has almost the same amount of strikeouts as the pitcher. Wow.
Yeah,
Never
that's
heard.
true.
Don't really hear that every day.
Well, you don't want that if you're a batter.
Yeah,
that's
it's not
certainly
good
the
to hear.
case.
Never mind.
Strike to Bouchard. Bouchard in his 5th at bat has 1 hit. 0-1, 1 out. 9th inning here at Frothingham. Frosty Frothingham Park this afternoon. And Prescott keeps his foot on the accelerator as now it's 0-2 to Bouchard. Here's the pitch. Did he go around? Once again, to the first base umpire. He says he did not. Check swing makes it 1-2. Boy, you're at the point now in the 9th inning. Every movement just seems so important, even just the turn of the wrists of the bat. Low, Bouchard did not chase. 2-2.
Yeah, I feel like you cannot partially try to swing, otherwise they're just probably going to call a strike at this point from the past batters.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. 6th punch out this afternoon for Prescott. And Bouchard is seated as well, which brings Mello up. Mello strike out 3 times so far this afternoon, but does have 1 at bat.
All right, 2 outs in the top of the 9th.
Nobody on, strike 1. The 6, 7, 8 hitters for DR this afternoon have represented 10 different strikeouts. But that's going to be hit into the outfield, yet will be caught for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down very quickly for DR, and once again, the Tigers have the opportunity to come back and take this victory in the bottom of the 9th. And you want to talk about a walk-off, the bottom of the 9th, that's what you think of with the majors, right?
Yeah.
And so that could be the case here for the Tigers, and I will tell you that you will watch this place come absolutely unglued if the Tigers walk it off here in the 9th inning.
Probably hearing us scream too.
I think we might. I don't know. I can't guarantee you what I would do because I've done this for 3 years, Jaden, and I've only called 2 OA victories, unfortunately. I'm not saying they've only won twice at home in 2 years, but I missed a couple games and some different things. I even missed the playoff game last year that they had in the round of 64. So I'm not saying they've won 2 games at home in the last 2 years, but I've only personally called 2 of them. And I will tell you, I've never called one in a walk-off fashion. And it's as exciting as you get here at Frothingham, because think about it, there are no home runs here because of the lack of fences. And when there are fences on people's property lines, there's no opportunity really for a home run other than an inside-the-park home run. So the best thing that you can really have here would be just a walk-off victory. It wouldn't even be a home run, but just however it happened, however it manifests itself, man, this place would just come unglued. And there is a faithful group of people. I will say that some of the crowd has left here, probably because of the conditions. But I think what's left is probably a faithful group of parents and family members who are here to watch their boys out here. And so we have the bottom of the order, which represents Tommy Regan, Brady Shatas, and Colin Dunmead. And these guys have had a good afternoon, and so we'll see what happens.
Never know at this point.
Tommy's had some good contact this afternoon, and it would just be tremendous if he could blast one here. He was looking to there, swung through it. The count is 1-1.
Looking to set the momentum off in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Here's the pitch. High into the outfield where the center fielder is actually going to be called off by the right fielder who makes the catch for out number 1.
Good play by the left fielder.
Brady Shatas is back up. Had a big hit in the second inning, but has been looking to recreate that magic since. This would be a great time to be able to get a hit here and get aboard. Foul ball down the first base line. Took a breath there for a moment. You were hoping that was fair. It was not. 0-1 to Brady. 1 out, bottom of the 9th, 6-6. That's right, if you're just tuning in, I said the bottom of the 9th. We're in extras here at Worcester Field.
I'm also looking at the next batter after shot toss, and it's not Dunmead anymore. I see it's number 29, Grayson Reed.
Okay, so we might have a pinch hitter here in a moment.
Giving the starters some rest.
He skies that into foul territory where a streaking Smith is going to not be able to make the catch, although he was making some tracks there over near the batting cages. That's a long strike, 1-2.
So a couple pinch hitters late in this extra innings.
Coach Abar is doing what he does, moving some of the guys around, moving his chess pieces on the board, trying to manufacture that last run and end this game. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. You better believe it. 2-2 as Brady decides to take on that wisely. 2-2, again, 1 out. 6 all, top of 9, or bottom 9. Well inside, worked it back to a full count.
It's full count right now with only 1 out for the Tigers.
The relief pitcher for DR deals. Inside once again for ball 4. And the Tigers get 1 aboard, and Brady represents the winning run.
As Grayson Reed right now is coming up, another lefty.
Good catch there, by the way, Jaden, to make sure we got the pinch hitter there. And yes, Grayson Reed is up for his first at bat. Runner on first, 1 out. Brady looking to cross the plate and win the game, and that's a huge hit into the gap, but it's to the right fielder, and that will be for a base hit. From our vantage point, it looked like that may have been a gapper. It was not. The right fielder was able to make the play, and that means runners on first and second with 1 out. That's all you're looking for from a pinch hitter right there, to come in and just make something happen, to be a spark plug there, and where Colin Dunmead hasn't had a bad game. His bat's been cold since the 4th inning, and good move there by Coach Abar. Runners on first and second, 1 out.
Evan Zamilo's up for his 6th time.
Evan has a triple and a double, his last 2 at-bats. He could win the game here. Evan jumps out of the way for ball 2. As the reliever, once again, we don't know his name because we don't have the scorecard for Dighton, Rehoboth. However, this pitcher in relief, who's come in just the last inning, he's in a little bit of a jam right here, which means the Tigers are knocking at the door. 2-0, 1 out. Runners on first and second. Good placement of that pitch there as Zamilo thought about it, held back, but it was called strike. 2-1.
That was a good pitch. I could see from here.
If anyone can end this game, it would be Evan. And the pitcher looks. The throw to home. Evan slaps it down the third base line, but foul, and Coach Abar, fleet of foot, jumped over the grounder and got out of play. 2-2, 1 out. Zamilo with the triple and the double to his credit.
Yeah, that could have been bad if he hit his own coach. That would not have been good.
Brady on second. Swing and a miss. Big chase by Evan, unfortunately, and that will be out number 2. Zane Prescott getting back up. He had the opportunity to end the game in the 7th, however, grounded out to end the inning. He has the same opportunity here. Put it in play, and this game could be over. The reliever with the pitch. And that almost got away. But Silva had enough awareness to be able to collect it and make sure that the runners did not advance. 1-2. A wild pitch or a pass ball here would be absolutely devastating for DR.
A shot toss almost went to third.
He did.
He hesitated and then went back to second.
Yeah,
Smart.
Silva kept the ball in front of him enough. It was good that he did not try to advance. He would have been called out. High pop fly, and that is in foul territory. Will it be caught? It will not, and that keeps the Tigers alive here in the bottom of the 9th. Unbelievable. What a game we've had here. 6-6. Runners on first and second. 2 outs. The Tigers are looking to walk it off. Prescott's got a 1-1 count. Again, he's had a great relief effort this afternoon, taking over for Zamilo, who took over for Sade. 1-1 count. One swing of the bat's all it takes, and this game is over.
Prescott's had a pretty good day today, too. So,
Is a pitch? That could be it. It's going to fall in front of the right fielder. He's going to go towards home. Here's the throw. The slide. He's called out at home. Unbelievable. Called out at home to end the inning. I think that was the right call. I don't know if Brady should have slid or should have come towards home. He probably should have stopped at third base, but it seemed that's a tough one because you're the hero there or you end up representing the third out. And it just, the slide, the throw, everything was perfect. Hats off to DR for an incredible play. We're going to the 10th. All right, here we go, Jaden. We'll be back in a moment here on ECAT.
We are just into our second week of the season. Our first game will be Friday. We had a scrimmage on Saturday over at the regional where we did pretty well. We got good numbers this year. A lot of younger players that are coming up this year, which is a plus, who have experience down from the youth program, and a couple of older players who haven't played before but are good athletes and are willing to learn. So this is a good start to the season, and we're looking forward to what's coming down the road.
So this season we got a young team, super excited for it. Coming off last season, didn't have a strong season, had a bunch of tough losses, overtime, 1-2 losses, but we're coming back stronger. A bunch of guys have been doing club, so hopefully they got their stick work up. We're gonna be a small team, about as smaller kids, but hopefully that won't be too big of a factor. It's a physical sport, but we're here. We got a bunch of people who are about that grind, who are trying to be gritty and just work through those disadvantages, but we're gonna work hard, grind, and hopefully come out with some big wins.
This season we got an early jump on captain's practices.
It's the 10th here at Frothingham Park, and it's still 6-6. What a sequence of events that took place at the end of the 9th inning. Could have been a game winner as Zane Prescott hit into right field in front of the right fielder. Brady Shatas ran towards home from second, thought he had the play. Of course, it's easy to be the Monday morning quarterback and say that he should have held up at third. But if the throw was off, if the tag was off, that's the game winner right there. And yet, as that ball goes past 2 extended gloves into the outfield, and Jack Lynch gets on board with no outs for Dighton Rehoboth.
That was a good hit from Dighton Rehoboth right there.
Now Smith is up next. He struggled this afternoon, but is trying to move the runner around. Runner on first, no outs. You can hear the Falcons coming alive. Here's the pitch as he shows bunt, was off, throw to first, and it is not in time and bobbled. But putting him on notice that a bunt here may not be the best thing to do. Coach Cuthbertson on the third base side is seemingly telling Smith to bunt again. We'll see what happens.
They don't
One
see
strike.
people bunt every day.
And he's just trying to move the runner along, which when you're in the 10th inning and you just need a run, a little bit of small ball is not a bad thing. But the question is, can Smith connect? Can he put it down the line enough to be able to advance the runner? Here's the pitch. He shows bunt again, and it's fouled off, and the bunt is now off the table for the Falcons.
Yeah, if there was no fence in front of us, I think we would have definitely gotten hit because I was like, wait.
Yeah, that chain link fence did us both a favor there because that was bunted right into our broadcast position. 0-2, runner on first, no outs. Smith has to swing now. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 called as he watches it go by for his 4th strikeout of the afternoon. Back to the top of the order for the Falcons with Viveros and Castro up next. Viveros, you'll remember, was the starting pitcher this afternoon. 6 strikeouts.
Solid
Been playing
day from him.
been playing in the field since, but a good day for him. 2 hits already at the plate as well, to his own account. Threat of runner moving ahead, but goes back 1-0. Extra innings are rare here at Frothingham Park. We already talked about that, but 10 innings is exceedingly rare. But here we are nonetheless. We're 3 hours into this game which started at 1 o'clock. It is now 4 o'clock. But if you're like us, you don't want to move. You want to see how this ends. Of course, we can't move because we're broadcasting, and we're going to stay till the
This
end.
is literally the length of a baseball game.
This is,
Yeah.
well, in the new major leagues, the average is around 2 hours, 45 minutes. And so, we're exceeding major league length, not just in the innings, but the time, too. 1-1 to Viveros, runner on first, 1 out, top 10. 6-6, Falcons and Tigers knotted up. Outside as once again, Giovanello looks to make sure that the runner doesn't try to cheat in advance there. And the crowd continues to thin here as the time goes on and the temperature continues to fall. Here's the pitch.
Looking for the double
It's a second,
play.
looking for 2. That's first. There's the second. No, is not in time, but good job by the Tigers to make sure that the runner does not advance. It would have been very easy to just throw to first and allow the runner to stay at second, but the wise play there was flip it to second, try to get it over to first. Either way, there's 2 outs. Viveros makes it on base, but the runner advancing to second is out. 2 outs. Jordan Castro up.
Zane's had a great day pitching today.
He sure has. You're absolutely right, Jaden. As that first ball is in there for a strike. Jaden had that blast earlier in the game. The double that turned into a triple with the throwing error. Here's the pitch. Little bit high. Ball 1.
He almost went for it, though. I could see it. Just 2 more strikes, and then it's the bottom of the 10th.
Zane with the pitch. Big, mighty cut, but he misses. 1-2 is the count, and Zane's back to needing just one more pitch, and the Tigers are back looking to win in the bottom of the 10th. Prescott looks back over to first, takes a breath. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Throw to second is going to be not in time as he is safe.
Now, any hit in the outfield for Dighton Rehoboth could get them the game-winning run.
Well, put them ahead because the Tigers will have a chance to at least try to tie or win. But good base running there. Heads-up play by Dighton Rehoboth. But the count's 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. And once again, Zane comes up big as Dighton Rehoboth sits down. And we're going to the bottom of the 10th. And we are still tied at 6. Jane, I don't even know what to say anymore other than the fact I wish we'd go to commercial, but I don't think we should because it's the middle of an inning. We're out of everything else to talk about
how we're feeling, I
other
guess,
than talking about how great the game is today and how much both of these teams have come up big. And I'll be honest with you, I would be disappointed if the Tigers lost. Obviously, as a Tigers fan, and obviously being so invested in what's taken place this afternoon and having stood here for 3 hours in the cold, I want them to win. I want them to win very badly. But, Jaden, win, lose, or draw, however this game ends, the Tigers have to take some momentum into the rest of the season for how hard they played today.
Especially because they have a game on Monday and Wednesday, which if they do win this game, it'll bring a lot of momentum going to the next couple of days. And they just got to keep practicing hard. And I know, like, Coach Aber practices them to, like, their max and stuff like that to get them in this position to win games.
And that's a good point. The Tigers do have games coming up on Monday and Wednesday. You can catch them both on ECAT. Each one is a 3:45 start. They'll be playing Monday against Foxborough and Wednesday against Attleboro. And Coach Abar's pushed all the right buttons this afternoon for the Tigers, and experienced coach. For those of you that don't know Coach Abar, history teacher over at Oliver Ames. He's in his 10th year as the coach of the Tigers. He's won multiple Davenport Division championships in the Hawk, has seen playoff success. Coach Abar he's a great coach, and one of the things I love about Coach Abar is he doesn't just care about the boys themselves as far as baseball, but really builds them up as far as life. And you don't always see that when it comes to high school athletics. And you can see his passion for the game, but you can also see his passion for these men as young men, and I love that. Well, bottom 10, 6-6.
As Taryn, Henry, and Levine are the three starting players for the Tigers.
That's
on
correct.
Offense.
3, 4, and 5 spots for the Tigers, the meat of the order here. Ball one as the reliever continues for Dighton Rehoboth. I believe he's entering his third inning of work, and you're at the place right now where the arms have to be getting tired. You're expending pretty much everyone you can in your bullpen to be able to work when you're in a 10th inning game, and that may have looked like a grounder towards the pitcher, but it was actually a foul ball, bounced off the plate and into the field of play, so that's a 1-1 count.
I've seen that a couple of times where they like hit it and it's a foul ball, but then it goes out on the field, so it looks like an actual hit.
Right. Taryn's in his 6th at bat. One of the great things about a long game like this is these guys are getting a lot of opportunities at the plate. They're basically getting almost 2 games worth of opportunities at the plate. You normally bat 3 or 4 times in a 7-inning game. Fouled. Back to Coach Abar.
Yeah, it's good reps for the young players, like you've been saying.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's really no downside here, and of course you want them to win this game so badly, but there's a lot of positive you could take away, even if it comes down to a loss, which we're not hoping for.
After all this time, nope.
Holds back, but strike 3 is called as he checks his swing, and that'll be out number 1 as Taryn gets punched out. Henry Burr up next. He's had 2 hits and 5 at-bats, including a 2-bagger.
Yeah, Tigers need any contact with Burr Levine coming up to the net because they're pretty good hitters. Oh.
Very inside. Ball 1 as Henry dances out of the way. 1-0. 1 out, 10th inning, Dighton Rehoboth, Tigers 6-6. Change up in the zone, 1-1, as Burr watches it go by.
That was a little bit inside from, but the ref was kind of blocking, or the ump.
Golf swings that into center field for a base hit. Great hit for Burr. Good day for him. 3 for 6. And I feel like I've said this before, Jaden, but the winning run is on first base. Now, you might be watching right now and you see that Henry Burr is getting a designated runner, or a pinch runner rather, and that will be number 6, Ben Parker. Ben Parker in for Henry Burr.
He's also a senior. He's in my grade.
Okay. Good deal. All right. Parker, probably fleet of foot. Burr, not the quickest on the team, so having Parker on the base paths is a good thing. 1 out as Levine calls time. Gets back in. Look at Parker on that base path. If you're watching at home, keep your eye on him because he wants to run.
He's a fast runner when he steals, through past experience.
Here's the pitch. Strike 1 called.
It's 0-1, the count, with 1 out and 1 person on first base, runner.
Parker again, perhaps looking to steal here. I know this, the pitcher thinks he's going to steal because he stopped and looked his way. No pickoff attempt, however. And Levine looks for the pitch. Here it comes. Strike at the knees, 0-2 as the Falcons get out ahead on this count.
We need any contact in this point of the game.
Here's the pitch. There's the runner goes, and the catcher mishandles the ball. Silva does, and so because of that, an easy move to second base. That's huge. It removes the force out, and now you have a 1-2 count with Parker on second base. And I have to wonder, Jaden, if he's not done. Parker very easily could also take third base here.
Never know. He's really crafty with his running abilities.
Watch the shortstop and the second baseman. See how much lead they allow him to have. And it looks like they're giving him a little bit more space than I would think they'd be comfortable with. Well, that second baseman is leaning in. But now he's moving out. Again, a little bit of a chess match here between the runner and the pitcher. Pickoff attempt.
No one's even there. What the?
And this is exciting baseball here to watch. Just the mind games between the pitcher, the second baseman, shortstop and second baseman. Fouled off. Pretty much anything here in the outfield will end the game with Parker's fast feet.
Just got to find like an opening now in the outfield.
Levine just needs to put it in play. You're exactly right. Anywhere will do. Just get it into that outfield and let Parker do his work. The reliever looks. Everyone's moving around. The pitch. Oh. Hit by the pitch. Right on the elbow. And the umpire is...
What?
Trying to find out exactly what the call is here.
He hit him. What?
It looked like he hit him, but then the umpire's making some sort of gesture here that something's wrong with... Not sure what the call is here. It could be that they thought that Levine was not in the box properly. I don't know if they were saying he was crowding the front of the box, but the umpire keeps pointing down
that's pathetic.
At the... That doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to me. He got plunked, but I'm guessing that the call is here, Jaden, that he's crowding the box.
What?
Maybe he was outside of the box, too close to the
He got
plate.
hit, though, right? Oh.
He did get hit. So 1-2. Coach Abar is protesting here. There's warnings coming from the umpire towards the dugout. The crowd is unhappy. The crowd is unhappy. The umpire is unhappy. We're in a very precarious spot here, as it seems like Coach Abar is receiving a warning from the umpire directed towards the dugout, possibly. But with all that set aside, we're still at a 2-2 count. Runner on second. Parker, again, dancing around, looking for his opportunity to run to third. DR looking to pick him off. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Levine strikes out. Giovanello is up. And you consider the fact that Jack has 4 base hits out of 5 attempts this afternoon, and having him up at this moment is what you're looking for, but the Tigers have to convert here. Parker on second. Here's the pitch. Well outside for a ball. Once again, a wild pitch or a passed ball would be absolutely devastating for the Falcons, especially with the speed of Parker at second.
Yeah, that last bat for Levine was wild. Like, I feel like that definitely should have been a hit by the pitcher.
Well, I don't know exactly what happened, and you're right, Jaden. The fact is, it would have seemed like instead of there being 2 outs and a runner on second, there should have been 1 out and a runner on first and second. Why the umpire made that call and kept gesturing at the plate, the only thing I could think of was that either he stepped on the plate, he was outside the box, or something of that nature, but it just doesn't make sense. Time is called by Jack, and the reliever for the Falcons just kind of smiles at kind of how crazy this has all become. But Jack settles in again, runner on second, Parker looking to run. Here's the pitch. Low and outside, 2-0. If you're the Falcons and you walk Jack here, it's actually not a bad thing. I would prefer as a Tiger fan to have a hit here more than have him walk, because he's had a hot bat this afternoon. Let's see what happens. 2-0. As he tries to throw back, but does not. And Ben Parker, if nothing else, has proven to be a distraction for the pitcher as he's having to watch behind him and in front of him at the same time.
You can't have 2 sets of eyes, I don't think, though. But
at some point, Parker may run. Of course, it's a little bit harder now with 2 outs, but that's popped up into center field, and it is going to fall for a base hit. Here comes Parker, running for home. That's the ball game. And the Oliver Ames Tigers have won their season opener in walk-off fashion in the 10th inning as Ben Parker crosses the plate for the game-winning run, and Jaden Levine, as a pinch hitter, wins the game. Absolutely unbelievable afternoon here at Frothingham Park. And yes, your Tigers, your Oliver Ames Tigers have won 7-6 in an absolute heavyweight match against the Dighton Rehoboth Falcons. What a game, Jade. How do you like that?
What a way to end off the season opener. Oh my, that was one of the craziest games I've ever seen.
That was incredible. Well, thank you for staying with us all afternoon here on Easton Community Access Television. The Tigers will be back in action at home on Monday afternoon against their division foe, the Foxborough Warriors. Tune in at 3:45 for the first pitch. You can catch eastoncat.org or our Facebook page for broadcast updates and channel assignments. Thanks to our broadcast crew today. Thank you, Jade and Tebow, for helping me out. What a way to start the season. Tigers win. Tigers win 7-6 with the walk-off. Be with us again on Monday at 3:45. Thank you for joining us today. See you next time on ECAT.
Catch you then.
ECAT's production of OA Sports are provided by Morse Insurance, Weinstein and Keach, we sell real estate, Michael Associates, Ltd., the Easton Lions Club. ECAT would like to thank all the sponsors for support of producing OA Sports.